Well, the Mariners get back to it at home today. They welcome the Chicago Cubs to town for game one of a 3-game series as the M's look to get back into the win column. They send Emerson Hancock to the hill. The Cubs will counter with Mercer Island's own Matthew Boyd, former Mariner as well. That's your pitching matchup for tonight. You can catch it all right here, Seattle Sports on 710. 6 o'clock pregame, 7:10 first pitch right here, Seattle Sports on 710. Meanwhile, tough news for the Seahawks as they are involved in a joint practice with the Tennessee Titans, who they will face this weekend. But wide receiver Jake Bobo went down with what appears to be a serious knee injury. According to head coach Mike McDonald, he said, quote, "Our heart goes out to Jake Bobo. It seems like it's going to be a serious knee. We're going to get it imaged, but early returns are it looks like a long-term injury. That's unfortunate."
Snapshot brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Wyman and Bob
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton.
Welcome, everybody. It's Wyman and Bob, Seattle Sports on 710, seattlesports.com. We are live at T-Mobile Park. I'm here alongside Ryan Roland Smith. And I don't know, do we have Dave Wyman with us? Matt, is he connected?
I am with us.
You are with
Yes.
us. Dave is in Tennessee, where there's no humidity, no heat. It's a very, very
Beautiful
even
day.
temperature out there, right?
Dude, I eventually I did pour like cold water over my entire T-shirt, but before that, it was pretty much soaked all the way through.
You struggle with the heat, Dave.
Humidity out there.
Really?
You know what? I've been a West Coast guy my whole life. They say you get used to it.
No.
I find that hard to believe, but it apparently happens. So your body adjusts and everything. But man, it was miserable, especially when the wind doesn't blow, and it was like 80% humidity. Just man, can't handle it.
Yeah. They told me that lie, Dave, when I lived in Chicago for over 5 years. They're like, you'll get used to the winters. You'll get used to them. No, you don't.
Not the winters, man. Not especially here. I'm not going to lie, and people know this. I live here now. I grew up on the beach, but man, the winters here, like everyone's like, "Oh, you get used to it. You'll acclimate."
Yeah,
telling you,
Not
man.
really, huh?
It gets to a point where I'm like, "All right,
And these aren't even harsh
I'm going back
winters.
to Australia."
These aren't
Well,
harsh winters.
No, but just the darkness, you know. Like, anyway, I don't want to start the day off.
Talking about your Graves' disease.
Yeah, filling in here, and I'm starting to down on a downer here, but no. It's,
Well, we got a 3-man show going today, and Ryan, you're gonna take off at 5:30. Is that right?
I think 5 o'clock.
I
Because I already
think
got to
5:30,
do pre and post with Brad Adams.
I heard 5:30.
I heard 5:30
man.
too. I mean, Brad
think you're-
Adam. I know he's gonna crack
Brad's
the whip
listening.
over there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He runs the show.
But the big news, and I'm sure you heard this, Dave, but the Mariners, it was Passan that came out with it first yesterday, that the Mariners were going to call up Kade Anderson. And I don't think anybody's surprised he's being called up because the Mariners and Jerry and Justin have all said, yeah, he will be up at some point. At one point they said sooner than later, and it was just a matter of, I think most people felt it would be September. Ryan, I'll start with you, though. Just quick thought from you on the timing of it, because what we've seen, we saw Brian Wu leave a little early after, 75 pitches in his last start. Pitched really well. Two road starts, by the way, where he's pitched well. But he talked about having a little shoulder barking there. And then Bryce Miller just has not been right. I mean, you look at his game logs over the past almost 2 months. I don't know what's going on with him. So did that lead to any of the urgency of bringing him up? Or do you think if those guys are still cooking and they're succeeding, they make this move anyway?
I think it has a lot to do with that. I think it has a lot to do with, how much do we talk about the piggyback situation, 6-man rotation, and one of the residual effects of this, which no one really talked about, but we did. I remember talking to you guys about this. If you are going to have a situation where you have extra day off, plus a lot of these off days, and you get in that routine, and then all of a sudden you go back to a 5-man rotation, this is pre-trading away Luis Castillo, it is a huge adjustment, not to mention the fact that you're already 100 or so innings into your year. You have to adjust from all this time off to every 5th day. Like, by the way, Bryce Miller and Brian Wu had to go. There was an off day thrown in there, but they had to go on a quick turnaround, way quicker. I'm telling you, man, it creates problems. And I'm not saying that is what has caused the trainer to come out last Sunday for Brian Wu's outing. I'm not saying that's what caused that fifth inning where all of a sudden the command went away from Bryce Miller. But man, I mean, it's
can't say that it didn't.
It's pretty clear that when you look at velocity and stuff and everything, once you get about 70 pitches in, and this happens, man. I've been there where it's like you had these runs where it's like, oh, that extra day, and then all of a sudden you've got to go every fifth day. Oh, and you're asked to push 95 plus pitches every time out, and some high stress innings, which that what they've had. Man, I'm telling you. So with all that being said, the timing here, a lot of that, to answer your question, yes, has brought Kade Anderson into a situation out of necessity, not a situation where it's like, hey, we're rewarding you for coming up. Yes, they are. He's been dealing. Yeah. But he's now thrown into a position, and I love this too. We'll get into this too as we talk about Kade Anderson. I love it when these prospects come up in this type of environment where you have to put your foot on the gas and you're in it, as opposed to this, oh, hey, come up and let's work on this pitch and this rebuilding phase, or we're out of it, so hey, let's bring up
the games have no consequence.
Absolutely. And look back too. A lot of the players who are making up this core, their first year they were in it, and the first year they had to perform. Wasn't coming up and hey, just get comfortable here for a few years because you're a big part of the future. No, it's different.
Dave,
that's really interesting because I like that mentality, Ryan, because, like you said, it's just like you have to perform. There's no being a rookie here, right? There's no, slow start or whatever. But the one thing I was going to ask you about, and remember we heard from Jerry Dipoto, 2-3 weeks ago, that he said, it would be irresponsible to put Kade Anderson in the bullpen. And so I guess that answers that question, right?
100%. And I agree, because – all right, if you're having the stretch run and you bring him up, and I don't know his follow-up comment as to why that was, but I'm looking at this going, all right, what are you going to do? Like, bring him up, and then what are you going to – if he does well and he is going to make an impact, guess what? He's pitching back-to-back days. He's facing lefties. He's, having a day off going again. That's irresponsible, 100%. Now, if you're bringing him up and he's – potentially piggybacking someone, okay, I can kind of see that. But no. Just from what we talked about before with what you've seen from Brian Wu, Bryce Miller, and even George Kirby yesterday, there is, call it a performance / whatever you want to call it. No, you're bringing Kade Anderson up now, not because rewarding because, everyone's excited about seeing this young player and letting him thrive. And no. You are bringing him up to say, hey, Kade, we're putting some weight on your shoulders here. We need you to perform because we're on this stretch run. We have to put our foot on the gas if we want to make it to the postseason. That's the expectation. So it's a completely different way of him coming up. But I love it too, man. Look, this kid's been in an environment, going back to LSU, where he has a little bit of that. He's been around high-end pitchers as well. It's not like he's coming out of some mid-major school and then he goes to pro ball, throws up a 1, and then he's thrown to the Wolves. It's a little bit different. So looking forward to seeing him pitch. He's earned it. And they need him. This is not something where it's like, hey, we're rewarding him. No. They need him to perform.
Talk about that jump from AA to the pros. I think AAA to the pros is big. But you often hear, I've heard from so many people within, this all organizations talking about often the best prospects for a team are in AA. And a lot of the rehabbing players and a lot of the older players are in AAA. They also probably didn't want him pitching in those AAA parks where the ball's just sailing out on pop flies or leaving the yard. But he was so dominant at AA. And the same was true for Bryce Miller and Brian Wu. They didn't spend any time in AAA. They went from AA to the pros.
Well,
so talk about that jump.
So, okay, a couple things. When I hear people say, they don't want them to be exposed to the PCL, it's the best thing that ever happened to me. Because it sharpens you up, man. Like, you have to make pitch. It's hard to pitch in the PCL, and you feel like, man,
it is a dramatic difference.
It's
right?
a huge.
The parks?
Yes, because and look, things have changed a little bit now. I mean, this is pre-humidifiers and stuff like that. Oh, you're pitching on the moon in Albuquerque. You go in Colorado Springs, and it was like, what is this place? Every place I feel like you went to, the wind's howling out, or wherever it may be. I remember pitching in the Omaha Storm Chasers. Dude, the flags are going up. Because the wind was
so a little pop-up is leaving the yard.
It was like, what is this? And so, dude, it sharpens you up, man. You have to make pitches. On the flip side, I understand it because all of a sudden you start getting a little timid 2-0 or you try and do things differently and blah, blah, blah. All that. Now, speaking of the jump that he's going to face now is you okay, starting at this level, second time through the lineup, third time through the lineup, you have to have a second dimension to your game. In other words, if you are, all right, I'm going to change eye level to a righty, then go change up, down, and away, boom, I can just live off that. Mm-hmm. You have to now all of a sudden go, all right, I have to potentially pitch on the other side of the plate, and this other pitch now has to set up this pitch. There's just that little extra layer. A couple other jumps that I found from AAA to the big leagues, pitching in, the margin for error, if you can just get it anywhere on the inner half of the plate in AAA, not taking anything away from AAA hitters, but my goodness, it's on the handle. I got here, I was like, man, I thought I nailed that inside pitch.
Yeah.
Big league hitters, dude, they are just so sound with their swing that their swing just stays the same, a swing, and their just hands are through that ball, and they can get that pitch inner half and keep it fair and drive the crap out of it. That was, to me, I went back to AAA, I got sent back down, I was like, oh my God, I can just live inside. The margin for error is so much bigger in AAA. That was a big difference for me. But guys don't pitch in as much these days. It's a little bit different. They're more north to south. The other thing you have to overcome, too, I think, with Kade is don't try and be perfect, man. And this is a little counterintuitive. He's going to get here and have all this information, right? All these analytics about how you can go about hitters. Grab that, take it, and you've heard this cliche before, but use that as information and then just go be Kade Anderson. That's going to be a huge jump for him, too. In other words, if he gets here and goes, oh, well, because I'm facing this guy or that guy or PCA and, man, he nails this pitch, I can't make a mistake. You start doing that, you 2-0 all day long. If you're 2-0 in the big leagues, man, you're not going to have any success. So there are so many different ways of it's different from AA, AAA to the big leagues. But, watching him pitch, he's just got this kind of presence about him. And, it's going to be fun to watch. I can't wait.
Well, we'll definitely talk more about that, talk more about what's going on with the Seahawks and the Titans. Dave Wyman's out there in Tennessee. We are here at T-Mobile Park. Meanwhile, is this a must-win series for the Mariners? We're going to get into that next right here with Wyman and Bob. We got Ryan Rowland-Smith in with us at Seattle Sports on 710.
He's baseball's top pitching prospect.
The Seattle Mariners select Kade Anderson.
Dominating every level in the minors.
Kade Anderson with 11 strikeouts tonight.
And now he's coming.
The Mariners are set to call up Kade Anderson from AA to start Saturday against the Cubs.
There's only one place to hear Kade Anderson's debut. Saturday night against the Cubs at T-Mobile on Seattle Sports. Listen free wherever you are on the Seattle Sports app.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
Here's the deal. The government is over $38 trillion in debt, which means the IRS isn't slowing down. And the tax code is complex and unforgiving. So it's not surprising if you're one of the millions of Americans that owe back taxes to the IRS. Unfortunately, they're the world's most powerful collection agency, with the ability to garnish your wages, seize your bank accounts, and even take your home or business. But don't be stressed or worried any longer. We're Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. We have resolved over $3 billion in tax debt for our clients. Our award-winning professionals deal with the IRS every single day, protecting our clients and preparing them for the best possible resolution. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, give Optima a call today.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Ooh, that face. Quantum fiber internet loves that face.
That's Jamila.
Gauge Jamila.
She's thinking
Thinking outside the box from inside the box.
Quantum fiber Wi-Fi keeps your meeting game strong. From the back door to the front lawn.
Rushing all of the video calls. Back to back to back video calls.
Quantum fiber internet blowing the soxies of all those people in all those boxes. Yay to you.
Switch today at quantumfiber.com. Additional pods may be needed to achieve Wi-Fi coverage in some locations. Limited availability. Service in select locations only.
August is always a time of excitement because football is back. But anyone that watches practice or preseason games knows how much work needs to be done before the season starts. If you're feeling the same about your home project, Harley Exteriors wants to help you get a head start on making sure your home is ready for fall football nights. $500 off each window, $750 off patio and entry doors, and $200 off your final project. Spend a few minutes with the folks at Harley Exteriors during your free estimate, and you'll realize you have a lot in common. They love our local teams, they're good at what they do, and they'll take care of your home. Use Harley Exteriors to complete your home project this month and receive 12 or 18-month promotional financing.
Qualified buyers only. Subject to credit approval and lender terms. Minimum purchase of 4 qualifying windows required. Windows must be 36 by 36 inches or larger. No size minimum on patio or entry doors. Financing subject to approved credit. Offers cannot be combined with other promotions. Offer expires August 31st, 2026.
HarleyExteriors.com. Seahawks, Titans, Sunday in Nashville.
Touchdown! Seahawks!
Rabel and Wyman call it at 5. Pregame at 3 on Seattle Sports.
Thinking about a new roof or exterior upgrade, but worried about the cost? This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. We've created our summertime savings event to make it simple and affordable. Save up to $3,000 off your exterior project or get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. And every qualifying GAF roof is backed by our lifetime Golden Pledge warranty. One call gets you started. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
Guys, if your energy is down, your workouts feel harder, and your drive isn't what it used to be, it may not be aging. It could be low testosterone. At Revive Health here in Seattle, the first step is simple: a free testosterone exam and consultation with an experienced medical provider. We'll review your labs, symptoms, and overall health to determine if testosterone therapy could help improve your energy, strength, and performance. And for a limited time, qualified patients can get started with a free month of TRT. Revive has helped over 120,000 men since 2011 improve energy, sleep, mood, and confidence. If something feels off, don't ignore it. Get answers and take control of your health. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivehealth.com. Revive Health. Elevate your vibe. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact Revive for full details.
It's WFC 199 World Fighting Championship at Emerald Queen Casino Event Center. Saturday night, October 17th. Experience the thrill and excitement of high-energy professional mixed martial arts. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. Don't miss this amazing mixed martial arts event. WFC 199 World Fighting Championship, October 17th at Emerald Queen Casino. Always entertaining. 21 and older. Need gambling help? Call 800-547-6133 or visit emeraldqueen.com.
This hour is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital Common Sense Lending.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Wyman and Bob.
Weekdays 2 to 7
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We continue live with our split broadcast. Ryan Rowland-Smith joining me here at T-Mobile Park, where the Mariners are hosting the Chicago Cubs, who come to town. Game 1 of the 3-game series coming your way tonight. And Dave Wyman out there in Tennessee, where the Seahawks and Titans will get together this weekend. They were doing a joint practice together. We'll get into all of that. But right now, let's take 2.
Seahawks wide receiver Jake Bobo suffered a knee injury during the team's joint practice with the Tennessee Titans earlier today.
Dave, that's a rough one, man. That's what you and I were talking about, you know, preseason games versus joint practices. I was talking about it with Moyer yesterday, and, you know, we can get into what he said about preseason games, but this is the one area I guess people would point to joint practices and go, well, see, you got 1s and 1s and 2s and 2s. They're getting more reps, and there's more intensity than practice, right?
Yeah, there is, but I still think you can't play scared. And, you can't be afraid of the preseason and injuries, and you got to get ready, and it's the best way to get ready. So I think right now it feels really raw and really bad, but I don't think it will change the way. But it was pretty negative out there, Bob and Ryan. I mean, it was not good. They were getting beat up. There was a couple of times where Rashid Shaheed was down on the ground. I mean, it wasn't a good performance. But I mean, they had a few things, and we'll highlight that later when we talk about it. But I think right now it's kind of stings a little bit, but I don't think it's necessarily going to change anything going forward.
The Angels blew out the Astros 18-3 last night. The Astros are now just one game ahead of the Rangers in the AL West.
It's amazing. If you look at the top 3 teams in the AL West, all 3 have dropped 6 of their last 10. All 3. The Astros, Rangers, and the Mariners are all 4-6 in their last 10, and it feels like and the Mariners and Astros seem to be completely lined up when they're not playing each other. Astros win, Mariners win. Astros lose, Mariners lose. They are still 4 games back, which feels like it's been 4 games back forever.
We landed last night, and I was like, man, if they took 2 or 3 from Milwaukee, what if, I know it was a tough game yesterday, trying to claw back. And then I look over, and, Brad, Adam, Shannon Dreyer were sitting there like, oh, Astros just got smashed. I'm like, oh, we're still right here. It's bizarre, too, because you've got Rangers have taken care of the Astros. The Astros have taken care – the Rangers have taken care of the Mariners. The Mariners have taken care of the Astros. The Astros have taken care of the Rangers. It's like no one wants to pull away here.
Nope.
That's crazy.
It's all right there, Dave.
Yeah.
It's all right. Nothing's changing except they're losing at the same time and winning at the same time.
Well, remember we talked about that one time we were like, okay, what's the one word that describes the Mariners? And it was fortunate or lucky because, it's kind of gone that way this year, right? I mean, nobody wants to grab the AL West by the throat.
Yeah. You know what's funny about that, though? Everyone's like, oh, well, the only reason they're in it is because of, the division. It's like, do you care about that when we're sitting there in game 2 and you're up by a couple of runs in the postseason?
No.
In the first series? No.
I don't care at all.
No one cares.
How they get in, to me,
just get in,
is irrelevant.
Yeah.
If you get in by winning the division, you get in by, a wild card, which seems like a long shot because you have 6 teams. And there are 3 games. It looks good. You go, there's 3 games back in the wild card. Yeah, but you have 6 teams in front of you right now for that final spot. So Take 2 is brought to you by Swedish Cyberknife. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish Cyberknife. Swedish.org/Cyberknife Prostate. If there's anybody who can find the bright spot about the worst blowout loss in Major League Baseball history, it's Jon Morosi, by God. And he's going to join us next as we continue with Wyman and Bob. Ryan Rowland-Smith with us at Seattle Sports on 710.
Things are ramping up for the defending champs.
Get your mind and your body ready to hit.
So all we're doing is just attacking the next thing. It's all we're worried about.
Playing time is up for grabs.
Milrose showing that elusiveness that we want to see.
Roster spots are on the line.
That's how the guys operate. They want that challenge.
And the heat is on. Seahawks, Titans, preseason game number 2, Sunday in Nashville. Pre-game at 3, kickoff at 5. On the home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Need a lift? In your business, equipment downtime is not an option. With parts in stock and factory-trained mobile technicians, Levitt Machinery is here to get your business back up and running. From forklifts to telehandlers, aerial lifts to track loaders. Trust Levitt Machinery to lift you back up and get your equipment back to work. Because at Levitt Machinery, if it's forked, we fix it. LevittMachinery.com. Give us a call today. Stack it, reach it, lift it, Levitt.
Slumber Ease Mattress Factory reminds parents to discuss safe traveling tips with your children. Plan a safe, well-traveled route to and from activities with at least one friend. Coach your kids to stay alert and be aware of their surroundings, and caution your children to never accept gifts or rides from strangers. Best wishes to all our kids from the entire team at Slumber Ease Mattress Factory. Talk to the people who've built your mattress in Marysville for over 60 years or find them online at slumberease.com.
We'll work hard to get you the best deal we can. Those are just words until you know who's saying them. From Lee Johnson, it's a promise you can count on.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
In 2026, Bay Alarm celebrates 80 years of security.
For the Puget Sound, that means local service including burglar and fire alarm systems, 24/7 in-house monitoring, and custom security designed to work with business operations. Bay Alarm has real people rooted in your community looking out for your business. After 8 decades and 3 generations of family ownership, our promise is still the same. We got you. Learn more at bayalarm.com.
Do you need a new roof? Visit 3treeroofing.com to schedule your free estimate and secure $500 off your project this summer. Our technicians build a custom plan to ensure a high-quality roof installation every time. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
Inflation's up, insurance rates are up, so here's my question for you. Why are so many people still paying more than they have to?
Exactly. I took the First Mark Challenge, and it saved me thousands. Brock did it too.
Sure did. They compared my insurance with dozens of top-rated companies, found me better coverage, and I saved thousands. And the best part? It didn't cost me a penny.
That's what I love. First Mark works for you, not just one insurance company. They shop the big carriers to see if they can find you a better value.
And if they can, great. If they can't, you're out exactly nothing. No cost, no obligation. So honestly, why wouldn't you find out?
Plus, First Mark has world-class customer service. When you need help, you pick up the phone, you're talking to local, real people who actually know you, know your policy, not an 800 number halfway across the country.
More than 11,000 clients have already taken the First Mark Challenge.
You could be the next.
Before you renew, let First Mark review.
Go to firstmarkinsurance.com. Take the First Mark Challenge today. You could be saving money with better coverage starting tomorrow.
firstmarkinsurance.com.
Feeling lucky? Don't miss the Lucky Fall Classic Collector Car Truck and Boat Auction. Saturday, August 29th at Tacoma's LeMay Marymount Event Center. Up to 200 collector, vintage, and classic vehicles, many going to the highest lucky bidder with absolutely no reserve. Get lucky, get local, and get in line. Visit LuckyOldCar.com for a list and pictures of auction vehicles, or call 206-467-6531 for bidding and consignment details.
Mariners and Cubs tonight at T-Mobile. 7:10 first pitch, 6 o'clock pregame. Get every pitch of every game for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Dave Wyman joined by the mayor of the city of Lacey, Andy Ryder. Andy recently underwent successful treatment for prostate cancer. His treatment method? Swedish CyberKnife.
I'm feeling very confident about my treatment with CyberKnife. I absolutely recommend it for anyone who has been diagnosed with prostate cancer.
Reach out to Swedish CyberKnife directly at swedish.org/cyberknifeprostate. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish CyberKnife.
CyberKnife is a registered trademark of Accuray Incorporated and is used with permission. Paid political announcement.
Hey, Seattle, did you know your groceries could be getting more expensive? Seattle City Hall is considering an ordinance that could put grocery rewards and coupons on the chopping block. The mayor's proposed fair pricing ordinance could have the exact opposite outcome and make everyday living more expensive. Protect Seattle Savings is a coalition dedicated to defending the everyday savings that Seattle families rely on. Visit ProtectSeattleSavings.com to learn more and join the cause.
Paid for by Protect Seattle Savings.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8157. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-8157. That's 800-575-8157. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
This hour is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital Common Sense Lending.
I've never heard a person walk out of the stadium and say, wow, I wish that game would have included more weighting.
He is an endless source of baseball and hockey knowledge.
José Berríos, el lanzador de Puerto Rico, el Clásico Mundial de Béisbol.
Jon Morosi, every week with Wyman and Bob.
You're being serious with me right now?
How about him rolling his R's like that, Ryan? Huh?
I love
you
it.
Do that?
Well, the guy.
Hey, how come
I
they
witnessed
kicked me out of the video box for JP. What the heck?
Well, but that's because I'm asking the second question, by the way, Dave.
There you go.
By the way, JP, we had a little communication back and forth, and anyway, who was asking what question? Everyone's very excited to talk to you today.
Yeah,
so,
I told him to
I'm
tell
excited
Dave.
to be here. Thank you.
I said, tell Dave I didn't tell you anything. So he said that back to Dave. Anyway, Jon Morosi is here to make us feel good about whatever's going on with this Mariner team each and every week. He's more of a therapist than an analyst, really, with us. But, John, I don't think we've spoken to you since the Mariners had that tremendous night being beaten 22-0. And that's a unique moment for any team, as we learned. History, it's the worst loss in the history of this organization, 50 years. They bounced back. They came back. They won the next game. They lose the series. Help us, John. What do we make of a team that can go out and do that? Then they can bounce back, win the next game, ultimately lose the series. And luckily, the Astros and Rangers are on the same pace. They've all gone 4-6 in their last 10. So we're not losing any ground, just losing games.
Well, how much time do you have, my friend? Because we have a lot of issues to unpack here. I'm glad we started promptly at the bottom of the hour to give us plenty of time in the course of this segment. You're right. There still is opportunity there. There is this one glorious wild card spot that is there for all these American League hopefuls to chase down. But here's the thing. You got to play good baseball. And you've got to find ways to just get a rhythm going. And you got to beat quality teams, which, by the way, you're going to have to handle this weekend against an excellent Cubs team that, as we know, is going to throw a lot of lefties at a team that hasn't handled lefties very well this season. That's just part of the way that it's falling this weekend for the Mariners. But they've just got to earn this. They've got to play better baseball. And there'll be plenty of time, I'm sure, when the offseason arrives, however soon it gets here, to figure out what exactly went wrong and how it can be fixed for next year. There is still some hope, of course, in the form of Brash ideally coming back before the season is up. Obviously, we know that the excitement surrounding Kade's arrival this weekend, but they just have to get back to playing better baseball in rhythm. The pitching, for the most part, obviously the 22-0 game aside, continues to give them a chance. This will seem ironic to all of you as you listen to it, but actually on the Toronto Blue Jays pregame show, I had a segment there earlier this week. It was at the time when the Mariners had won 2 games in a row, and I said, "Hey, I'm on the train here. The Mariners are playing better. Brock Rodden has come up. I read Daniel Kramer's story about how he wrestled a bull once when he was a kid. I was all in on that story, and then all of a sudden, the 22-0 game happened, and I had to take a bit of a step back from my enthusiasm. But the good news is there's a lot of time left. The bad news is we haven't seen enough consistency from this team that tells me they're capable of chasing down this spot when other teams like the Blue Jays are just playing better baseball.
JP, it's funny. You and like a lot of us, they win 2 in a row. You're like, oh, here we go. This is it.
They're
clicking. Here we go. And then all of a sudden something goes down. You mentioned Kade Anderson. Everyone's very excited to see Kade Anderson. And there was a big, he was dominating in AA, killing it. Is this a move out of necessity in the sense of like, hey, Kade, because we were talking about it earlier, we need you to take on a huge responsibility of what happens with this starting pitching as opposed to rewarding a kid who's just done, there's nothing left for him to prove, right? Come to the big leagues. How do you view it from your point of view in regards to Kade Anderson's role in the team's success getting to the postseason?
Ryan, I love this topic because I do think it's a little bit of both. When you look at his numbers, there was just nothing left for him to prove at AA. And he's shown with the repertoire the ability to land his secondary pitches, because that's really the big question. Are you, as a starting pitcher, do you have 3 fully mature pitches that can get major league hitters out? That's the big question. And Anderson has answered that question in the affirmative often and repeatedly. So that's number one. He's shown that he's ready. Number 2, I firmly believe, and the Mariners have effectively, if not directly said this, but they've heavily implied it, he was not going to come up unless they knew he was going to start. Because if you bring him up with this much time left in the season, and make him a reliever only, or even a short burst reliever, then you're starting to lower his overall innings count for the year, which then lowers the amount of innings you could conceivably get from him next year if you're going to have a more graduated scale. So in my opinion, he has to start. You might do some other things with the rotation, whether that means, again, is it 5-man rotation, 6-man rotation? That's up to Dan Wilson to work through as time goes forward. But for me, he has got to start. He needs to start and pitch a bulk, or at least a bulk number of innings in a piggyback, to where you cannot lose him being stretched out. He has to finish this year as a heavy workload type of a pitcher, so that way the foundation is laid for him to be a starting pitcher from the very beginning of next year, by which time potentially one of the other starters will have been moved out for a bat that they need. That's what I'm seeing. This is both the correct immediate term to win a game this weekend. It's the best way for them to make some progress and headway in the division or the wild card race for the rest of the year. And it's also the best way to set themselves up for next season. This is 1,000% the right move right now. You can second guess other things the Mariners have done or not done this season. This, to me, looks like the obvious correct decision by the Seattle Mariners.
Yeah, JP, you've been saying that for a couple of months now, that maybe it was just a month or 6 weeks, but, that there's nothing left for him to do. But do you remember a comp that a pitcher coming out of AA that is this good? I mean, 135 strikeouts and just 13 walks. His ERA is just ridiculous. Is there a comp, anybody that he reminds you of?
It's an elite level of performance, and I guess the most recent comparison that you could point to would be Skeens. And I'm not saying he's going to be as good as Skeens was in his first full year of Major League Baseball, but in terms of a fully mature repertoire coming from the same elite college program and then a relatively brief apprenticeship in the minor leagues, it is quite Skeens-like. It really is. And with Skeens, there were other reasons probably for the build-up. He's just this fascinating person, number one overall pick, all these different elements to him. And part of it was there was not a whole lot going on with the Pirates at the time he made his ascent, and so he was the franchise. The Mariners have other players, other name-brand players that their fan base knows and that the baseball world knows, to where Anderson in some ways, he didn't sneak up on anybody clearly, but it wasn't as though the dominant storyline of the Mariners season was, when is he going to make his debut? For the Pirates, the year that Skeens came up, that was the story. With the Mariners, as you know, there have been other things to talk about, for good and for ill, over the course of the last 4.5 months. So the Mariners, they're bringing him up in a good set of circumstances, and really, this is a Skeens-like arrival. There is a lot to like about him, and in some ways, Dave, for me, it's an almost better situation for him, because it's not as though he has to come in and save the rotation. Obviously, the team is in a bit of a crisis moment with respect to making the playoffs for 2026. That's true. But the rotation, the foundation of it, is still quite strong. So he just has to join what is still a fairly robust parade of starting pitchers, do what he does, and then move forward. But I think the big picture point is all those old school ideas about how long a pitcher is supposed to be in the minor leagues or at what age should he come up, I think that's all lost to history. The reality is, in the modern game, injuries are a part of it. And there's no sense in having an additional half season of innings in AA or AAA when a pitcher is clearly ready for the major leagues, when you realize that, listen, there's a fairly high attrition rate for pitching. He's clearly of a major league caliber right now. Bring him up, see what he can do.
JP, when you look at where all these teams are right now, and we look at the Mariners in that last wild card spot, you're going, well, they're just 3 games out. Well, there's 6 teams in front of them right there. And a lot of those teams represent a level of disappointment, the way the Mariners, based on expectation, right? The Blue Jays you just brought up, they were moments away from winning the World Series. We talk about being 8 outs away. They were in it. And
they were
right
probably
there.
4 inches, 5 inches, depending on how you look at that play at the plate.
Yeah, so you're a Blue Jays fan going, we were right there, could have walked away with the title. So a lot of expectation coming into this following season. Now they're ahead of the Mariners in that chase for that final spot. But is there a team you look at out there that's more surprising in what they haven't done this year than the Mariners? I mean, the Blue Jays stand out to me. I thought the Royals were going to be, but they were a winning team last year. They didn't make the playoffs, but they were a winning team. They've been a disaster. I don't know what the expectations were based on their offseason, but anybody else come to mind that sort of matches that level of expectation coming in, yet just wildly disappointing for whatever reasons?
The Mets in the National League is probably on the NL side, I would say. But in the American League, you could argue the Tigers, I suppose. You begin the year with Skubal, and then you play so poorly that you then end up trading him and Mize and still don't fix the bullpen and still end up losing a whole bunch of close games, where if the Tigers had a serviceable bullpen, they would probably be the clear, if not the division winner, they'd be the clear third wild card if they had just an average pen at this moment in time. And I think Seattle, and I just pointed this out earlier today, they haven't been the same since Brash went on the IL. They were in first place when he got hurt in the early part of June, and since then they've got the second worst record in Major League Baseball. One player rarely determines it, but I think you often look to teams that are or are not able to close games down. The Tigers are, and I say this because a lot of people in my family obviously are supporting the Tigers, they are a frustrating team to watch. And I hear it from my friends and family every night, so it's great. I have my own focus group. And then I said, "Yeah, but do you hear what Bob and Dave ask me every week? I mean, do you want to join me on the show, Dad? You want to hop on the radio in Seattle?"
You're like, I'm not a counselor. I'm an analyst.
Oh my gosh! I think I told you my dad's favorite line. He'll call me up. This goes back even to last year, even before that. But his favorite line is son. He'll list off all the things wrong with the team, and he says, "Having said all that, I'm going to be happy either way." And I said, well, Dad, what do you mean? He says, well, either they're going to prove me wrong and then they'll come back and I'll be happy because I want the team to do well, or I'll be proven right and that'll also make me happy. So I said, either way, he's in a good mood. So that's my dad for you. I'll either be happy or I'll be right. Either way is good.
JP, I've looked at this schedule for the Mariners. I'm looking on tankathon.com. It has a little strength of schedule algorithm they put together. In the AL West, the Mariners have the weakest schedule moving forward. Obviously, you got the Cubs, Phillies, you got the Red Sox coming up, and they even throw the toughest opponents, the Astros. But then you look at the Rangers, they got the Brewers, Rays, Red Sox, White Sox. Houston have a tough schedule. What do you put into that? Like the Mariners' schedule, once they get to September, you've got Colorado, you've got the Athletics, you've got the Angels twice. Is there any, when you're looking at this strength of schedule for the Mariners being essentially they're towards the end of this gauntlet run, do you put any validity in that, or how do you view that in regards to how you're projecting this team to try and get to the top of the AL West?
It's one of my favorite topics this time of year, Ryan, because I go back to something that the Hall of Famer Jim Leland would always say at this time of year. It's not who you play, it's when you play them. Is the team on an up cycle or a down cycle? For example, the Blue Jays still have a losing record, but when you catch them at the wrong time, they're really formidable. Even the Tigers, to some extent, they've had a bad record all year, but they're still a tough team to face. The Mets right now, for example, I just mentioned them a moment ago. They've actually played better recently, even though they have an abysmal record. So in general, I would rather have the weaker schedule, given the choice between the two pathways. But we've all been around the game long enough, Ryan, to see there are teams that have nothing to play for and then just ruin your season. Because some kid from AAA comes up that no one has ever seen before and no one knows how to pitch him, and he's activated on September 20th, and he goes off and hits 3 home runs in 10 games and is never heard from again. And all he did was ruin your season. Again, I go back. It's funny. It's the second time this week I've mentioned this story. I was there the final day of the season in 2011 when the Baltimore Orioles, who were a last-place team, spoiled the Red Sox season on that incredible Game 162 night that we've never seen the likes of which since then and probably never will again. The way that night all came together, and I was there at Camden Yards when that ball dropped in front of Carl Crawford. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And then Longoria hit the home run right at the same exact moment, and the Rays won the division. And that was a team, and that was a Yankee team that was a quality team that the Rays came back on and beat them. In Baltimore, Robert Andino, I'll never forget, Robert Andino had that hit to left field. It was a bunch of young kids. Buck Showalter had them all fired up. And then they went on and made the playoffs the next year. Momentum and togetherness really shows up. And listen, the Mariners still, that chemistry is still in there for them. We saw it last year. They haven't found it this year. The pieces have not cohered. I like that word. They have not had a very coherent season. I think when you watch them play, it hasn't had that rhythm that they had a year ago. It's still there, though. They can still find it. The right personnel is in that room. It's just now a matter of having that common sense of purpose. I think a purposeful team with energy and enthusiasm and that loves to play together, that's the team that's going to win that final AL wildcard spot. I fully believe that. Now, is it the Mariners? Could be. Is it the Blue Jays? They might have the best chance to do it, to be honest with you. But it's going to be a team that just finds that rhythm and purpose and claims it together and really gets going. I think that's the team that's going to win that final AL wildcard spot.
JP, what do you, we hadn't talked to you, like Bob asked you about, the 22-0 loss. And I'm just curious about how you feel about Julio Rodriguez because, and I felt terrible, terrible for him. That,
Dave's still
he forgot. Yeah, that he, he throws the ball into the crowd and it's 2 outs. But I mean, just looking at him, he got off to a fairly good start. But if he continues at this pace, just his batting average will be the lowest that it's been. Is this going to be one of those kinds of off seasons for Julio where he tries to go and maybe something good comes out of that particular play? That it kind of all culminates, into that kind of characterizes, I should say, his season. And he kind of, maybe it's one of those. I don't know. I guess what I'm asking you, JP, is how bad was that?
Yeah, it was not a great moment. It was not a great moment, Dave. It wasn't, and I think it became a very convenient way to encapsulate all that has gone wrong for the Mariners this season, and especially that night. Listen, if you're watching a game, I've been part of blowout games and blowout innings where if you got a position player pitching and 6 runs have been scored and you might temporarily, even as a broadcaster, forget how many outs there are in the inning when it's gotten that out of hand. That's a human moment. It is. However, it is correct in saying that as a center fielder, as the leader, the franchise player, the guy with the mega dollar contract, it can't happen, and he knows that. And it's not something that has to be punished or some real big statement of apology, in my opinion. He just knows and has to know the standard that he's going to be held to because of who he is. And I do think, I've said this before at a couple different junctures of his journey, he is still a relatively young player. Obviously, he knows better. I get all that. But he is still, I think, understanding and coming to grips with how you have to wear that burden when you are the guy and things around you are not going well. Cal has his style. Julio has his style. They are unique. They have their own approaches to things. And when the team is having success, it's great because the difference of style shows individuality and different diversity of thought and approach to the game, and it's all good. When you're not having success, everything gets magnified and different narratives develop. He loves the game. He loves to play the game. No one who's ever watched him or talked to him will ever question that. Right. I do think this is a moment, though, Dave, to your point, where you learn about leadership in new ways. There's a line. I've quoted it before. Keith Olbermann said it years ago. It's about the TV business, but it applies to almost anything that you do. He said this: at some point in your career, you look around the room, and to your considerable horror, you realize that you, in fact, are the adult. Right? And that's where Julio is now. He is the adult. There's a certain moment when you're kind of the new kid, and you might feel like you've got the responsibility, but then you look around, the veteran over there is going to handle it. Well, guess what? J.P. Crawford's a free agent after this year. Arozarena, with his big personality, he's probably leaving after this year. you look around and all of a sudden the classroom, like the lockers around you in the locker room, the nameplates are all changing, and you're like, hey, I'm the longest tenured guy here or close to it. And all of a sudden there's no one else there to handle the tough moments but you. It's your responsibility. And that to me seems like the moment where both Cal and Julio have arrived. Neither one of them has had a great year, okay? And whether we want to say one's the effective captain or the other, in any sport, I don't care if it's the NBA, NFL, NHL, baseball, if your two co-captains both have lousy years, you're probably not going to win. And Julio's year hasn't been all the way bad, but there's been a little bit lacking, to your point. And I think that's all a very fair critique. There are better years ahead for both of them, but the way this whole year has unfolded reminds everyone that pitching will get you far, but only so far. And the stress, it does seem to me too, the stress on the pitching staff is real. Trying to protect all these late leads when it's 2-1, 3-2, 4-2. They've lost, I looked this up, entering the seventh inning, 15 games that they've lost. When they were tied or ahead, they've lost. It's just, that's a very, very difficult number to manage, and I think explains why they are where they are.
JP, I'm curious how closely you've looked at other teams' rosters in terms of what they do in the offseason to bring in maybe some veteran help, because it feels like that's been kind of a sticking point with this team. They haven't been able to find that guy. I know everybody loved Justin Turner, but when you look at what he did here, to me, his value was much more in the clubhouse and just being that voice and that leader as compared to what he actually produced, which wasn't much. But, you got Donovan Solano, you got A.J. Pollock, you got Rob Refsnyder. You've got every year you're trying to find this veteran bat to come in and be that guy, and it hasn't worked. It just, for whatever reason, do you see that with other teams where they're trying to find that same guy who's, he's not what he was, but he's a guy who can hit lefties, or he's a guy who's going to be the sage, wise old voice who's going to go out there and show you what a professional AB looks like and really be that leader? Because it seems like the Mariners really struggle when they look for that guy.
Miguel Rojas of the Dodgers last year, right? He's the hero of Game 7. Just after Kike Hernandez was the hero of Game 6. Two guys who are exactly what you're talking about. The Dodgers do a good job of that. The short answer is a lot of teams are looking for players like this. Also, I will mention and remind Ryan and Dave both that Bob told me that Tommy La Stella was not going to work out long before I realized it. I was all on, hey, La Stella's going to help. And Bob's like, I don't know, John. I don't know about this one. And I was a real believer.
You said that about a lot of players. Though,
yeah, I was, and we haven't even mentioned. I was going to say Colton Wong. I said I trust Colton Wong, and then right up until I didn't. But at the end of the day, those types of players are important and needed and necessary. And I would also say this. Part of the Mariners' success organizationally has been drafting and developing. And they may have arrived at a point where they're going to have to use some of that capital from the farm system to trade for maybe one more reliever to help insulate that group at the end of the game, and also trade for an outfield bat. Let's be real. Look at the outfield right now. The outfield / DH spots. And Canzone clearly is part of the mix in some way next year, and Julio obviously is. But Rosarena more than likely is not coming back. Taylor Ward's on an expiring contract. JP's on an expiring contract. You're still, for all the benefits of playing in Seattle, it's still not a place that sluggers have generally wanted to sign. In terms of the ballpark, again, we can go back in the history of the team, Richie Sexson, Adrian Beltre. There's been books written about this, right? But basically, it's hard to get the big-time free agent hitter to sign there. And by the way, sometimes it works out for the better. See Chris Bryant, right? And there was a big topic a few years ago.
Yep.
My suggestion, unofficial free advice to everybody, is it's probably time to look at your prospect group and make some tough decisions and potentially move some young players to bring in some legit veteran bats. Now, this is a hard thing to do because, generally speaking, teams that have them don't want to give them up. And it took the Mariners how many years of grinding to bring in Brendan Donovan. Let's remember, Donovan was supposed to be this guy that we're talking about. Josh Naylor was supposed to be this guy that we're talking about. Cal Raleigh was not supposed to have this kind of a year. There's a lot of elements to this team that suggest the idea wasn't that bad, but the results have been poor. And I do think that it's probably time to not wait for my friends Tommy LaStella, Colton Wong, Rob Refsnyder, etc. And you should make the big-time splash, pay a little more of a premium, and get it wrapped up in November, understanding it's going to be a little bit of an awkward offseason, potentially because of a work stoppage. Fine. Get your shopping done early, and do not waste another season or half season of what remains still, in my opinion, an open window to win a championship in Seattle.
He is Jon Morosi with us each and every week. We love you, John. Always great stuff. Have a great weekend, and look forward to our conversation next week.
Sounds great, guys. Love you guys, too. I hope that was an amount of positivity and realism worked in there. Hey, listen.
He's already talking November. We're trying to get to the postseason here.
100%. Well, listen, I'm still optimistic. And, Ryan, do you want to share? I mean, this is an on-air production meeting. Do you want to share with our colleagues what you told me over text when I texted you yesterday during the game? What you said to me?
We're good. We're good.
No, what do you mean? What do you mean? No, we're not good. We're not good.
It was all positive. It was all positive. It was positive.
It was JP. It was me just messing with JP because he is Captain Positive. I was trying to knock him down a peg or two.
You were trying to make him a little less positive.
Yeah, that's all it was.
We were all positive. I was just giving him nothing but love. It was all good. So, but the point is, keep the faith, Seattle. You've got some meaningful games coming up, and you got it against Seattle native Matthew Boyd as well on the mound, which should be a fun story as well this weekend. So it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Have a great weekend, JP. We'll talk next week.
All the best, guys. You too. Thank you.
There he is, Jon Morosi. Love that guy. If you guys missed any part of that conversation, you'll be able to find it on the podcast page after the show. Just go to seattlesports.com, click the podcast tab, and click on our picture. It'll be right there waiting for you. And don't forget to click subscribe. It's totally free, and that way it just shows up for you every single day.
He's great and everything, but I don't see him kicking me. Why am I getting kicked out of the video box? Come on.
I don't know. I don't know who's controlling that. Trev is here.
We had a
Trev's
three
here.
screen.
He's giving the
turn it off.
Here he is.
Turn it off. Never mind.
Yeah.
Our weekly conversation with Jon Morosi is presented by the Puyallup Tribe of Indians. Meanwhile, time to get the inside scoop on Kade Anderson's time in Arkansas. Travelers broadcaster Stephen Davis is going to join us next as we continue with Wyman and Bob. We got Ryan Rowland-Smith in at Seattle Sports on 710.
Things are ramping up for the defending champs.
Get your mind and your body ready to hit.
So all we're doing is just attacking the next thing. It's all we're worried about.
Playing time is up for grabs.
Milroe showing that elusiveness that we want to see.
Roster spots are on the line.
That's how the guys operate. They want that challenge.
And the heat is on. Seahawks, Titans, preseason game number 2, Sunday in Nashville. Pre-game at 3, kickoff at 5. On the home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Hey, baseball fans, Rick Riz here. I'm excited to introduce you to my good friend Keith Dashafy, owner of Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Keith?
Thanks, Rick. At Pella Windows and Doors, we pride ourselves on delivering top-quality windows and doors that enhance the beauty and energy efficiency of your home. Our products are built to last with innovative designs and exceptional craftsmanship. Whether you're looking to upgrade your windows or install new doors, Pella has you covered.
That's fantastic, Keith. Don't wait. Schedule your free appointment today at PellaPNW.com.
If it's blocking your view, keeping your yard dark or shaded, or impossible to mow around, get rid of that tree or stump this summer with P&D Tree Service. They'll do it safely and quickly, cleaning up your yard in the process. P&D Tree turns multi-day jobs into a few hours, saving you time and money. One tree or land clearing, they have the tools and expertise for the job. They specialize in large tree removal. Ever seen a tree removed by crane? PNDTreeservice.com.
Hey, it's Bob Stelton here, and I can see clearly now. It's amazing. Let me tell you about one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. That's when I went to K2 Vision for Refractive Lens Exchange, or RLE. Dr. Kopstein started K2 Vision with Dr. King from King LASIK, the most experienced LASIK surgeon in the Northwest. King LASIK plus K2 Vision equals freedom vision for every stage of life. No glasses, contacts, readers, or cataracts. So if you're somebody that struggles with distance vision and now you always need a pair of reading glasses, K2 Vision RLE RLE could be your perfect permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the capper. You're never going to develop a cataract. I'm somebody that needed readers in every room of the house. I needed to see the scoreboard out at ball games. I just couldn't see clearly. That has all changed thanks to RLE. Whether it's LASIK, EVO ICL, or RLE, trust the most experienced team of doctors to point you in the right direction. Schedule your free Zoom consultation today at K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
You know, I used to think all money managers were the same until I spoke with Fisher Investments.
Really? How different are they?
Fisher's investment counselors are dedicated to service, not sales, keeping clients up to date on their portfolio.
Well, they probably just invest in a bunch of mutual funds like I do.
Nope. They build a tailored portfolio based on their clients' personal goals, helping them stay on track for a comfortable retirement.
Well, they must make commissions selling products.
Actually, Fisher doesn't sell any commission-based products. They're a fiduciary, and they believe that's a conflict.
Then they have some kind of complex fee structure.
Nope. Fisher has a simple, transparent fee that's a percentage of their client's portfolio. So they do better when their clients do better.
It sounds like Fisher really is different.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Fisher Investments, clearly different wealth management. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com/different. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Right now is a good time to try to save money, and one of the easiest ways to save, taking the First Mark Challenge. Mike and I took the First Mark Challenge a couple years ago, and we have saved thousands of dollars since then on our insurance. Here's how First Mark Insurance works for you. They compare rates and coverage from dozens of the top-rated carriers. Then they go to work to find you the right coverage at the lowest possible price for you and your family. And when you need them and pick up the phone, you'll talk to a real person who knows you and is there to help. That's the kind of world-class service that has kept us with First Mark Insurance year after year. So take the First Mark Challenge today. It costs you nothing. There's no obligation. And you'll find out just how much money you could be saving every single month. You could be the next First Mark Challenge victory. They've had over 11,000 of them, and I'm one of them. Go to firstmarkinsurance.com. What are you waiting for? No cost, no obligation. They simply show you whether they can find you lower premiums, better coverage, or both. Your savings start tomorrow. Firstmarkinsurance.com.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Mariners back to it tonight here at T-Mobile Park. They welcome the Chicago Cubs to town. Game one of a three-game series. They send Emerson Hancock to the hill. He faces off against Washington's own Matthew Boyd. So interesting pitching matchup in this one, which you'll catch starting at 6 o'clock with the pregame show. 7:10 first pitch right here, Seattle Sports on 7:10. Just one game going on right now. Brewers are up on the Braves in the top of the 8th in Milwaukee. Brewers up 2-0 in that game. And some tough news for the Seahawks as they had their joint practice with the Tennessee Titans today, and it resulted in wide receiver Jake Bobo going down with what appears to be a serious knee injury, according to head coach Mike McDonald, who said, quote, it seems like it's going to be a serious knee injury. We're going to get it imaged, but early returns are that it looks like it's a long-term injury, and that's unfortunate.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Wyman and Bob.
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton.
We continue live from T-Mobile Park, where the Mariners and Cubs get together tonight, game one of that three-game series. I'm here with Ryan Rowland-Smith. Dave Wyman is in Tennessee, where the Seahawks and Titans will get together for preseason game number 2. And right now, we get a chance to speak to a man who's had a front row seat for the Kade Anderson show, which has been brought to Seattle. He'll start tomorrow against the Cubs in game 2 of this series. Joining us now is the Arkansas Travelers broadcaster, Stephen Davis, is here with us. Stephen, how are you, sir?
Doing great, guys. Friday nights have been pretty fun in Arkansas this year when we've seen Kade go out to the mound. He's been a pleasure to watch.
Yeah, it's amazing to watch from a distance, and by a distance, I mean we just look at box scores every night. I haven't seen clips here and there, but I mean the numbers are astonishing in terms of just the level of dominance. Just an ERA a shade over 1. He's gone 93 and a third. He's got 135 strikeouts, 13 walks. I mean every number is just ridiculous. Did it look like the numbers say? Like it just seemed a man amongst boys, if you will.
Yeah, it was dominance is a strong word, especially when you're playing against other good players. But by the end of the night, you'd look at that final line and you'd go, man, he was really good again. And there'd be stretches where he'd go 3 innings without allowing a base runner. And the way Kade is wired is, I think, what sets him apart. He was so picky about how he would pitch or missing spots that he was never satisfied. He could go out and throw 5 perfect innings, and you'd talk to him the next day, and he'd go, yeah, I fell behind too many guys early, and I need to work on this, and I didn't like my curveball in the 4th inning. And there was multiple things every night that he was not satisfied with, and it was what allowed him to keep growing and getting better while he was here in Double-A, despite putting up those numbers. And he just had that factor where he wanted to go out and just blow other teams away and put up those zeros every time he went out. He's had 2 scoreless streaks this year of over 20 innings. In fact, he's on one right now to show you how good he has been here of late. So it was so fun to watch because the numbers did match what he was doing on the field, and to do it for as much as he did start after start was just so impressive.
Stephen, you've had a front row seat every start. We get the snippets of he throws this pitch, that pitch. Can you give us your best scouting report? What does he throw with 2 strikes? How does he attack hitters? How does he get lefties out? How does he get righties out? The best scouting report you can give to the audience for Kade Anderson, what to expect when we see him tomorrow.
The best thing about Kade is he's got 4 pitches, and they're all good pitches, and he will throw any of them in any count to any hitter. He has confidence in all 4 of them. If you asked me early in the season in April, what's Kade's best pitch? I might have said one thing. Then you asked me after the next start, I might have changed to a different one. It was dependent on the night. It could be the fastball. It could be the changeup. It could be the curveball. It could be the slider. And he really doesn't mind attacking hitters in different ways within an at-bat, let alone at-bat to at-bat. For how he can finish guys off, it could be any of the 4. And to me, it was so impressive getting to watch him start after start after start, because not only would he finish guys off with any of the 4 pitches, but he could get swing and miss with any of the 4, both out of the zone and in the zone with all 4 pitches. And if he obviously can continue to carry that on to the big league level, he's going to be an incredibly special pitcher. But to watch him do it consistently, start after teams had seen him multiple times and batters had seen him multiple times, he kept finding ways to get guys out. And it just speaks to the command he has and the trust he has and the confidence he has in all 4 of his pitches.
Hey, Stephen, we got a chance to talk to him at spring training, and he's sitting there, and to me, looks like he's 12 years old, but I mean, he was an incredibly mature kid. What about his leadership and him as a teammate?
Yeah, he's team first. I talked to him last week in a long-form interview, and it was all about the team. I want to go give my team a chance to win. That's all I care about. When we don't win the game, when I only go 5 or 6 innings, I'm disappointed. So he has the right mentality from that perspective. He's very humble in the fact that he knows he needs to go out and keep working, and there's always another level to reach. There's always another step. There's always something else out there for him. And one of the coolest things for this season has been the relationship between Kade and the other young pitching prospect that the Mariners had here in Arkansas, Ryan Sloan. Those guys almost have a big brother, little brother type relationship. Kade just turned 22 during the summer. Ryan's only 20. And those guys lived together. They roomed together on the road. They were almost inseparable when they were at the ballpark. And the relationship they built has been really special. And I don't want to say Kade was guiding Sloan along, because Cade's still learning about pro baseball as well. But especially for off-the-field stuff, they were always taking care of each other. Kade was always looking out for Ryan, as I said, kind of like a big brother. So from a leadership perspective there, he's awesome. And I think he could fit into any clubhouse because of the work ethic he has. And the humbleness he has, and the fact that he just wants to go out and win games for his team.
Stephen, as you mentioned, Friday nights are fun. That's when Kade was out there pitching. I'm guessing the crowds got bigger on those nights, maybe as compared to some other nights. But just trying to get a sense of how mentally ready you feel he is for this level of ball, because you talked about his desire to be perfect, and I got behind in the count too many times and things like that, which you love to hear. But this is just such a different world at this level. How did he handle the attention and the expectation of being labeled the number one prospect in the organization? And as the numbers grew, so did the legend, if you will, that everybody just expects every time you toe the rubber, you're going to go out there and just shove.
You can't hide from it when you're getting that much attention, and he handles it really well. He kind of lets it roll off his back, but he knows if he needs to be in the spotlight, he can handle the spotlight. And it's not something new this year. Go back to last summer. He was the MVP of the College World Series in Omaha, and you've got 20,000 people from Louisiana wearing purple and gold that have driven up to Omaha, Nebraska, who are putting all their hopes and dreams on your shoulders, and he went out and pitched 2 great starts and was the MVP of the College World Series. So this is nothing new. He's been the focal point of one of the most rabid college fan bases that there is out there, and had those expectations placed on him on top of what he puts on himself, which is probably greater than any outside pressure that he would ever feel. But yeah, you were right. The crowds did grow as the summer went here. The legend continued to grow, I guess, if you will. And it was fun to see LSU fans coming in with purple and gold on and rooting on Kade, just because he's so special to them. And I'm sure there'll be some purple and gold at all his starts in the big leagues. So he has had, I don't want to say pressure on him throughout his life, but over the last couple of years, for sure, at the highest levels of baseball he's pitched at, there's been external pressure on him already, but he puts expectations on himself that are going to outweigh anything that might be coming from outside forces.
Stephen, Dave mentioned seeing him in spring training. I got a chance to see him in spring training. From that point until now, what has been the priority for whether it's player development, pitching development, the Mariners have put on him for him to say, all right, we want you to go out and not just go deal, no, and just be yourself and wait for your call. No. They always come up with some sort of development cue in regards to what they're trying him to level up. What has been the biggest priority for him to call it leveling up to get him ready to pitch in the big leagues?
It's can he hit those spots consistently, which he does, but in Double-A, there's going to be some hitters that will chase some things, or you can get away with a little bit here and there, and you can't do that in the big leagues. So to consistently go out and hit the exact spot you need to hit to get a hitter out in the big leagues when you're doing it in Double-A, I think was the big emphasis, because he started out so well this year, and he didn't hardly walk anybody all season. The strikeouts were there all year. There wasn't a whole lot of necessarily growth and development to do there. It was more refining what he already had and just showing that, this sequence works in this situation. Or when you face this hitter for the 3rd time, how do you go about attacking him when he's seen you twice, and now you've got to face him with a couple runners on, and you're on your last 5 pitches of the game, and can you get through this inning here? Those type of things. It was always a new challenge for him every time out, and whatever they threw at him, he passed the tests, and it's going to be fun to see where he goes from here.
Hey, Stephen, who are some of the other it's got to be cool for you seeing these guys come through and then go on to the big leagues and thrive. And who are some of the other guys that have come through there that are memorable as like Kade is?
Well, let's check off all the big names that are up there with the Mariners. Julio, when he was here, Cal Raleigh and Logan Gilbert were here pre-COVID when they were just young pups, and you could tell they were something special, and how they grew has been really fun to watch at the big league level. And then obviously the last few years, the Bryce Millers, the Brian Woos, the Emerson Hancocks, all of that group have come through here as well. George Kirby, and you could see the special talent those guys all had. And those guys all made the jump straight from, with the exception of Emerson Hancock, straight from Double-A to the big leagues, as well as a lot of relievers that have gone up to Seattle as well. So this isn't anything new to come through with what the Mariners have been doing in the farm system and building guys up and getting guys ready to produce at the big league level, especially on the pitching side. And, the guys that we've had this year, Kade Anderson, Ryan Sloan, fit right into that same mold of guys who are going to continue on that development path and have a great chance to have success at the big league level, just like the guys in the current Seattle rotation have had as well.
You bring up Ryan Sloan there, and he obviously, as you talked about, he's younger, and Kade Anderson was almost playing mentor to him. But what have you seen out of him? I mean, again, we can see the numbers, we can look at that, but what have you seen that stuck out to you in either a good or bad way, or just curiosity about him?
Yeah, he's as real as anybody that's come through here in Arkansas. And granted, just 20 years old, so the ceiling is still very high. What was impressive about Ryan was he'd made 3 starts above the low A level when he got here this season, and he was at times swimming in the deep end. And you could tell that there were some things he needed to adjust on, and man, he's adjusted on everything. The stuff is real. He's if you want to stick with the swimming analogy, he's swimming in the deep end now and swimming as fast as anybody. There were a lot of starts recently where Kade Anderson would go out there on Friday night and dominate, and Ryan Sloan would go out the next night on Saturday and be as good or maybe a tick better in some cases. And it was really fun to watch him kind of go, okay, Kade is doing this. If I stick with my work, if I keep putting in the work on the off days and stick with my routine and trust my stuff and continue to follow what the Mariners give me, I can go do this too. And sure enough, he caught up quickly, and he's been really, really good as well and really fun to watch. And being just 20, it's going to be exciting to see where he can go with a 20-year-old and a 22-year-old dominating in Double-A. It's pretty special.
Stephen, you've got a special group of players down there, but I don't think Bob and Dave realise that the manager, Rich Thompson, we've known each other since we're about 12 years old. Talk to me about what you've seen from Rich in regards to, first of all, first-time manager, by the way, in Double-A, and he's got this big responsibility. But what kind of impact has he made? What kind of relationship has he had with some of these, players that we're going to see? Well, obviously Kade, but some of these other guys we're going to see in the big leagues very soon. What's Rich's role been like, and how would you grade him at first-time manager? My buddy from when we were kids back in Australia.
Are you teeing him up to say really nice things? Yeah. My buddy. How do you feel about my buddy?
Rich has been awesome. For a guy that was the last few years coaching in junior college, people were a little skeptical of bringing him to Double-A. But when Rich at the start of the year goes, hey, pro baseball is all I've really known since I came over from Australia at age 16, he has fit in just perfectly. He lives close to Little Rock here. He lives about an hour down the road in Hot Springs, so he's near home. He's near his family. He's embraced this job. And the biggest thing he'll tell you about having guys like Kade Anderson and Ryan Sloan or Lázaro Montes, whoever it is, that when they're here and playing well, you stay out of the way. You don't mess those guys up. When they're going well, you just let them do their thing. But he's been a very steady leader and a guy that's obviously been there and gone to the big leagues and pitched there for 6 years, primarily with the Angels. But he's had a blast managing this group and running these guys out there on a regular basis and getting to see what they can do. And I know he's really excited to see where these guys go, not just the rest of this season, but in the next year, 5 years, 10 years, and what kind of careers these guys can go on to and where they go from here.
Yeah, you mentioned some names there that are now in AAA, names we hear about all the time. The guy I'm most fascinated with, as far as position players go, is Laz Montes. Just his potential. I mean, he's just a naturally huge kid. He's a big dude, and they call him Baby Jordan, which obviously raises expectations because Alvarez is one of the premier players at this level. That's a lot to put on a kid, and I know there's a lot of swing and miss, and who knows if he'll pan out or not. But I'm intrigued by him, and I'm curious, just in your time watching him while he was down there in Double-A, what your impressions were.
He's got a big enough personality to match the size. He is the most energetic guy in the building from the moment he shows up until he leaves. I have to pinch myself once in a while, remind myself that he's, in his early 20s, and he has this way about him, this energy. And you want to talk about a guy that wants to work hard and get better. Lázaro Montes is the top of that list. He's the hardest working guy on the field. He wants to play hard. He wants to run hard. He wants to show that he can be a good outfielder. He wants to throw guys out on the bases. He wants to go make catches. He wants to run the bases well, in addition to the fact that he can hit a ball nearly 500 feet at the drop of a hat. He wants to be a complete player. And he's such a unique personality because of the energy he brings. He was such a driver for this team when he was in Double-A this year. There was a game on a Sunday on the road, team's down 6 runs, and he hit a home run, and everybody that was in that dugout knew instantly that they were going to win the game because of the energy from the home run that he hit and what he brought back into the dugout after that. He is such an energy giver, and it's going to be really fun to see how his skills translate if and when, and it'll be a when he gets to the big league level, because he's such a guy that I think still has a very high ceiling, not just as a power hitter, but a guy that really wants to be a complete baseball player too.
Steve, one last one from me. The clubhouse, right? When Kade got the call, he was going to the big leagues. What was the reaction like with his teammates? I mean, it speaks volumes. We saw Rich. Saw a social media clip of Rich letting him know he was going to the Futures game, which was really cool. But this is massive. What was the clubhouse reaction like when he found out?
They're all thrilled for him. Kade's been an awesome teammate. They all love him. He's the kind of guy that will sit around and play cards with the guys and talk as much trash during that and try to beat guys while they're playing cards. And he wants the trash talking coming his way as well, and he competes as hard at that as anything. The guys love him, and he's going to be missed in a clubhouse because he was such an infectious personality as well. Not a loud guy necessarily, not a guy that would take the spotlight in the clubhouse and be a lightning rod in there, but a guy that was welcome in any circle and really made his presence welcome to be around, whether they were playing cards or just hanging out in the dugout on the days he wasn't starting with the other starting pitchers, or the days he was starting and out there competing and trying to help a team win. So everybody was thrilled for him. It's a situation where that's what all these guys are working for. You know that, Ryan, in the minor leagues. Guys, they're wanting to move up to the next level, whether it's Double-A, Triple-A, big leagues, whatever it is. And when one of their teammates is successful, when you got a good clubhouse like this team's been blessed with, everybody's happy.
Stephen Davis, Arkansas Travelers broadcaster, has been our guest here with Wyman and Bob and Ryan Roland Smith. Stephen, really appreciate you taking the time. Thanks so much.
Absolutely. It's been fun, and go M's. Get a few wins this weekend over the Cubs.
Oh,
appreciate it, man.
Let's hope so. Appreciate you, man. Thanks so much.
All right. We'll talk to you later.
There you go. There's Arkansas Travelers broadcaster Stephen Davis giving us a closer look at Kade Anderson, who will make his debut, his major league debut, Saturday against a very good Chicago Cubs team, a team that is tied with the Milwaukee Brewers going into action today in on-base percentage, a team that just gets on base, creates traffic. We saw that with Milwaukee. They're relentless.
Yeah.
I don't know if the Cubs are as relentless in terms of how aggressively they run the bases. We saw the Brewers turn what looked like a routine single to right field. Ground ball gets through. All of a sudden, it's a double.
Yeah.
It is aggressive on the base paths.
I mean, they're a top 5 offense, especially right now. You got PCA, who is just red hot.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how Kade. I love what he mentioned, the fact that College World Series MVP, pitching in that environment with all those expectations too with that fan base. Man, it's going to be fun to watch him tomorrow.
Our thanks again to Stephen Davis, Arkansas Travelers broadcaster. You can hear that conversation on the podcast page after the show at seattlesports.com if you missed any part of that. And again, just click the podcast tab, click on our picture. It's right there after the show. And don't forget to click subscribe, totally free, and it shows up for you. Meanwhile, we'll hear what Seahawks quarterback Sam Darnold said about today's joint practice and preseason game number 2. That is coming your way next as we continue with Wyman and Bob at Seattle Sports on 710.
He's baseball's top pitching prospect.
The Seattle Mariners select Kade Anderson.
Dominating every level in the minors.
Kade Anderson with 11 strikeouts tonight.
And now he's coming.
The Mariners are set to call up Kade Anderson from Double-A to start Saturday against the Cubs.
There's only one place to hear Kade Anderson's debut. Saturday night against the Cubs at T-Mobile on Seattle Sports. Listen free wherever you are on the Seattle Sports app.
Certain industries expose workers to hazardous chemicals. If you worked in a paper or pulp mill, or in aircraft manufacturing or painting at Boeing, and have a child born with birth defects, your child may be entitled to legal damages as a result of your exposure to such chemicals. Birth defects have been linked to toxic chemicals, metals, and solvents used in these industries. If your child was born with brain or spinal cord damage, organ or limb malformations, blindness, cerebral palsy, genetic damage, or other birth defects, and you're a past or present worker in a paper or pulp mill, aircraft manufacturing, or painting, contact us now toll-free at 1-866-99-TOXIC. Your children may be entitled to legal damages. If you're a past or present worker in a paper or pulp mill or aircraft manufacturing or painting at Boeing, and your child has a birth defect, call toll-free at 1-866-99-TOXIC. Your call is confidential. 1-866-99-TOXIC. Message authorized by Weinstein Cajano, 600 University Street, Suite 1620, Seattle, Washington.
When it comes to my policy, Farmers gives it to me straight, so there's no surprises.
It's your coverage. You should never be confused.
You hear that? An insurance provider with a conscience.
We're a choir, but yes, we have that too.
Straightforward coverage you can literally understand. That's what you get when
you have Farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Learn more at farmers.com. Underwritten by Farmers Truck or Fire Insurance Exchanges or Affiliate. Products not available in every state.
Holy smokes, I can see. Hey, everybody, it's Rick Riz. And I just had refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision, and it's amazing. K2 Vision RLE means no more readers or glasses for me. Plus, I'll never get a cataract. Now, when I call a game, you won't see those readers dangling from the end of my nose to see the field and then my notes. I only wish I had done it sooner. It's like seeing a whole new ball game. K2 Vision RLE was quick and painless, over in just minutes, and I knew I was in great hands. The K2 Vision RLE team has done over 150,000 lens procedures. You can trust their stuff. K2 Vision RLE is my permanent solution to a lifetime of great vision. It could be yours too. Enjoy life's good years without readers, glasses, contacts, or cataracts. Get your free Zoom consult now at K2VisionRLE.com. Then you can make the same call I did. Goodbye, glasses. K2VisionRLE.com.
Life is full of tough choices, but switching and potentially saving hundreds when you bundle home and auto insurance with Progressive isn't one of them. Not like choosing a vacuum, which, sounds simple enough until 3 weeks later when you're joining vacuum forums and pouring through countless articles. Pretty soon you're making full-on spreadsheets, sifting through thousands of online reviews and saying things like cordless runtime in your everyday conversations. At least bundling home and auto with Progressive is an easy choice. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Sleep Number's new collections are designed to adapt to the changing nature of your life and your sleep needs. Whether it's the personalized comfort of the Comfort Mode mattress, the targeted pressure relief of the Comfort Next mattress, or the Climate Collection that actively cools or warms to help you fall asleep and stay asleep.
And now, all beds are on sale during our biggest sale of the year. Save 25% on the new Comfort Next Luxe, plus free delivery on any mattress. Ends Monday, only at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com.
Hey, Mike Salk here for Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel, and not all getaways are going to earn 4 diamonds, but you can experience the 4 Diamond Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel, where the breathtaking views, elevated dining, and world-class gaming and entertainment make the perfect escape. Also, check out upcoming shows. You got 80s pop sensation Taylor Dane on September 6th, or local rock legends Queensryche on October 10th. Tickets at snocasino.com. You can elevate your next getaway. That's 4 Diamond and Seattle's closest Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Please game responsibly.
Seahawks, Titans, Sunday in Nashville.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Rabel and Wyman call it at 5. Pre-game at 3 on Seattle Sports.
No matter the time of year, working out at home is the best. Brock Heward here, and allow Top Fitness to create your own home gym. Simply give them your room dimensions, and they'll do a complete fitness room design. And everyone, from personal trainers to pro athletes, love their stuff. Top Fitness represents the very best brands in fitness, like Precor, Inspire Fitness, along with many others. They also have flooring and weights that go right in your home gym. Locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or simply visit topfitness.com. That's Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
Our work is measured not in numbers, but in the lives made lighter, calmer, and brighter through compassionate care.
That's the mission statement of Northwest Ketamine Clinics. And for those diagnosed with anxiety, depression, or PTSD, at Northwest Ketamine Clinics, there is hope. During August only, their Advanced Healing Series is $300 off. That includes 6 infusions, a private treatment suite, and provider check-ins, all at one flat fee with no hidden add-ons. Northwest Ketamine Clinics was the first ketamine clinic in the Northwest, opening 9 years ago. With locations in Seattle, Tacoma, and Bellevue, they've given more than 50,000 treatments. Everyone's path to healing is different. Schedule a consultation today to find out if ketamine therapy is right for you. They have immediate availability, so you can get started this week. Welcome to the Pacific Northwest's most experienced ketamine center. Book a phone or video consult at nwketamineclinics.com. Healing starts here.
This hour of Wyman and Bob is brought to you by K2 Vision RLE.
Wyman and Bob.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Live from T-Mobile Park, I'm joined by Ryan Rowland-Smith. Dave Wyman joins us from Tennessee, where the Seahawks get set to take on the Titans. They were in joint practices today. A reminder that Sunday's Mariners-Cubs game can be heard in its entirety on AM 770 and also on the Seattle Sports app. Meanwhile, the Seahawks take on the Titans in preseason game number 2, which will air right here on 710 as well as the app. So any confusion, just download the Seattle Sports app to find both broadcasts, totally free. Meanwhile, Sam Darnold talking with the media today after the joint practice with the Titans. Here's a bit of what he had to say.
We met up with the quarterbacks during special teams, and before I could say, oh, it's hot out here, they were like, oh, it's a beautiful day. You brought the cool weather with you. I was like, good God. So, no, it was honestly really good for us to be able to come out here and, have different weather, have a different defense out here. I talked to some of the defensive guys, like for them to see a little bit of a different offense. So it's just really good to go up against a different team.
Mike told us, unfortunately, it sounds like Bobo's knee injury is serious.
Yeah.
I know he's meant a lot to this team as long as you've been here and longer. Like, what was it like for you guys to see that?
It hurts, man. He's one of those guys that just, he works, talks a lot of stuff. And, he's just one of the, kind of like Spoon in a way, offensively. Like he brings the juice every single day, and he just does his job. So it sucks to lose Bobo, but I know he's going to attack it and be better whenever he comes back.
Did you get a chance to say anything to him? I know it's the middle of practice. Both teams came over when that happened. The NFL game, and what is that a reminder of, or just how precious this might be?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like any sport, right? I mean, injuries happen, but it's just it just puts everything in perspective. He's, like I said, he's going to come back better than ever, but you just never know when stuff like that's going to happen. So, you just every single play, you just continue to push and give it all you can. And I know that's all he does, and that's why it's such a shame that it happened to him. But like I said, I know he'll be back.
Touchdown to Holani, you had along with Price earlier in practice. What do you see how the running backs, Felix, Jones, also? What do you see how that group is pass catchers?
Yeah, they're doing a great job out of the backfield. Even when they're not out of the backfield in the slot, being able to catch and do all the things that we ask them to do. Obviously in camp some things happen. Receivers go down, tight ends go down, fullbacks go down, and those running backs have been able to just step up in whatever position we ask them to play. So they've been very versatile all camp and really, really good catching the ball out of the backfield and even in the slot or out wide.
Where do you feel like the offense is right now, sort of in adapting to Brian Fleury and some of the tweaks he's made?
Yeah, we're continuing to find our identity. I think for us, we got to continue to detail things up. It's exactly kind of where we were last year. Not exactly, but, it's just during training camp, especially this point in training camp, there can be some guys that think they have it figured out, and you kind of, myself included, you kind of take your foot off the gas a little bit, and you're like, all right, we have all the installs in. I feel like I've been executing at practice. It's like, no, you got to treat every single day like it's your last day out here, and that's really my mindset. And I know our offense is continuing to push tempo and all those things that we need to do to, continue to have good practices and build all the way to the season. And then when we get in the season, it's the same thing. We just continue to build.
What are you learning about Fleury, just like personality-wise?
Yeah, he's, still continuing to figure him out and all those things. He's very stoic, like I said, right when I met him. So just, I think for us, it's a matter of like just being able to hang out together, whether it's before practice, after practice, in the building, and continuing to talk, get to know each other, because I think the better play callers and quarterbacks know each other, the stronger the relationship is on the field.
Last year, you told us that Clint and Janoko were telling, listen to your feet was the thing that they hammered in you. What are some things that Brian and Jake Peets are like really harping on?
Yeah, I think they do a really good job of just reminding us. It's kind of the similar thing, but just saying it a different way, like progress, continue to trust your eyes, trust your feet with your progressions. Like if something's not there, move on and continue to go through your progressions and find the open guy. And if it's not there, play fast, move around. And if it's a throwaway, then that's the right play. And you always just got to make the right play and make fast decisions and, and learn from things, I think, is also a huge thing. When you're not sure, you throw the ball away, move on to the next play, and we'll correct it when we get back to our meetings.
You've seen Salah's defenses when he was in San Fran. It's so early, can you see a Salah imprint on that Titans defense yet?
For sure. I think you see the aggression, you see the pressure that they put on the quarterback. Like their 4-man rushes are really, really good, and when they bring 5 or 6-man rushes, and even when they bring fire zones, like they're really, really good. They're really, the back end's really good at disguising right now. They're, showing a lot of different things defensively without getting too far into the weeds, but they're doing a lot of great things, and that defense is going to be really good this year.
Sam mentioned Jadarian and the catch he made. Just having him back these last couple of days, how does it change the offense, I guess? Or what do you notice?
Yeah, he's a special player. He's a really special player. He brings a different facet to the offense that only a guy like him can bring. Whether it's catching passes out of the backfield, catching screens, running in between the tackles, outside the tackles. He can really do it all, and I know he's just going to continue to get better and learn.
He showed some toughness there, got a hit over the middle, and you hit him a couple plays later. You like seeing a player kind of respond like that?
Yeah, I mean, I would like to not put a receiver in a situation like that, but I also would have thought the DB wouldn't have hit him. But, I tried to give him a shot, and the DB made a really good play on it. So, but the way that it's not funny, but it's funny in the moment now that he's good. But I went up to him as he was on the ground. I was like, Sheed. He's like, oh. I was like, you get the wind knocked out of you? He's like, yeah. I was like, all right, you're good. I thought it, maybe it would have been something different, but it looked like he just got the wind knocked out of him. So when he confirmed that, felt a lot better. Not that I want to continue to do that, but he showed a lot of toughness by getting up, and also the way that not only him but our entire receiver group, man. Like we had some, obviously Bobo go down, some guys cramp up. Like we had a lot of receivers getting a lot of reps today in this heat that we're not used to in Seattle. Those guys stepped up in a huge way, and they were playing really, really tired and showed a lot of grit today.
I'm sorry if it's repetitive. Their DBs had a tough time last week against the 49ers. They're really looking to bounce back. What did you think of that group today? Yeah. And how much had you looked at maybe Flott and Taylor coming into this, or not at all?
No, yeah, I've known that they've been really good players in the league, and Taylor made a really good play on me in the 2-minute drill, so kudos to them, man. They have really good defensive players, especially in the back end. So, yeah, we just got to continue to, for us as an offense, like we just got to continue to do what we do. But, yeah, defensively, you guys look really good.
Sam, bigger picture, how do you feel like you guys have dealt with all the stuff that comes with being Super Bowl champions and the extra attention and all the just the stuff that comes with that?
Yeah, I think our guys have been good. We got really good leadership to be able to handle stuff like that in every single position room. So, and then again, like I think Coach Mike, his message to the team has been very, very good, and just the way that we're attacking the whole thing. But again, to what we say with Mike is like we want to run it forward, and so that's kind of been our mindset. And obviously learn from last year, but we're not going to live in last year. We got a lot of work to do to continue to put in the work that we need to have a good season this season.
There you go. There's Sam Darnold speaking with the media after today's joint practice. The Seahawks getting set to take on the Titans on Sunday for their second preseason game of the preseason. That seems redundant. Dave Wyman will give us more insight on what's going on down there. He is in Tennessee. We are here at T-Mobile Park with Ryan Rowland-Smith. So we got a lot to get to. Meanwhile, 2 different athletes no-showed their teams this week. You're going to hear about that next in WHYMAN. That's coming your way next with Wyman and Bob with Ryan Rowland-Smith at Seattle Sports on 710.
He's baseball's top pitching prospect.
The Seattle Mariners select Kade Anderson.
Dominating every level in the minors.
Kade Anderson with 11 strikeouts tonight.
And now he's coming.
The Mariners are set to call up Kade Anderson from Double-A to start Saturday against the Cubs.
There's only one place to hear Kade Anderson's debut. Saturday night against the Cubs at T-Mobile on Seattle Sports. Listen free wherever you are on the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, here's one for every homeowner listening. It's Dave Wyman here, and Fast Water Heater has kept our water warm since 1986. That was just before my rookie year. We're talking about 4 full decades of serving our neighborhoods, and now they're a part of Fast Home Services, applying that same standard of excellence to your whole house. Plumbing, heating, cooling, electrical. The name you already trust, keeping your family comfortable, safe, happy, and healthy across the entire house. So call 1-800-THINK-FAST to book your free in-home estimate, or visit fasthomeservices.com for a virtual quote in seconds. Water heaters, plumbing, HVAC, and electrical services.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit MuckleshootCasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot. Hey, Brock Ewart here with my buddy Shannon O'Kelly from IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. Shannon, you know I love this time of year. It's the boys of fall. They're out there playing football, but we also know that sport, especially professionally, gets guys banged up. And they have doctors and trainers and staff there to put them back together. What about for those that do get hurt being active out on their own? Where do they go?
They go to IRG Physical and Hand Therapy, Brock. We've always been available for the public, the consumer, that person out there that maybe has a bump or bruise, and maybe they're a recreational athlete. We are here to help them, give them guidance. But remember, Brock, in the state of Washington, we have what's called direct access. That means if you have an injury or a bump or a bruise, a problem, come see us. We can get you started in physical therapy right away, and we will navigate all the insurance complexities here at IRG Physical and Hand Therapy.
And the sooner you start, the sooner you feel better. And with over 40 locations all over Puget Sound, they're easy to find. You can find them online as well at irgpt.com. That's irgpt.com.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Others doubted us. Others didn't believe. But for us,
we did not care.
We showed the world what this city is all about.
Congratulations, your Seahawks, Super Bowl 60 champion.
This city lives for Sunday. Get your tickets for Seahawks game days at Seahawks.com today.
Mariners and Cubs tonight at T-Mobile. 7:10 first pitch, 6 o'clock pregame. Get every pitch of every game for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, you mind keeping it down up there, please?
KeyBank will meet you in that I need new neighbors moment.
Rick, it's your mortgage loan officer, Beth. I was in the neighborhood and wanted to let you know your home loan application's been approved.
Beth, you're always there for me, and not a moment too soon.
Are your neighbors bowling with grand pianos again?
And apparently raising livestock?
Ew.
For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. KeyBank opens doors. Equal housing lender. NMLS number 399797.
Experience the thrill of the Kitsap Fair and Stampede with classic fair fun and food. Delight in the ultimate Pacific Northwest summer tradition. Bring the whole family to enjoy exhilarating carnival rides, midway games, and all your favorite deep-fried, sweet, and savory fair food staples. Kitsap Fair and Stampede runs August 26th through the 30th. Don't miss out on all the fun and excitement. Tickets and info at kitsapfair.org. That's kitsapfair.org.
There couldn't be a better time to save money, and one of the easiest ways to save?
Take the First Mark Challenge.
Molly and I took the First Mark Insurance Challenge, and we saved thousands of dollars the first year with First Mark, and we've been saving ever since.
Same for Mike and I. Here's how First Mark Insurance works for you, not the insurance companies.
They compare rates and coverage from dozens of the top-rated carriers. Then they go to work to find the right coverage at the lowest possible price for your family.
And when you need them, you'll talk to a real person who knows you and who's there to help. That's the kind of world-class service that has kept us with First Mark year after year.
Seriously, wouldn't you like to know if you could be paying less? Take the First Mark Challenge today. It costs you nothing. There's no obligation, and you'll find out just how much money you could be saving every single month.
You could be the next First Mark Challenge victory. They've had over 11,000 of them.
Don't give your insurance company a free raise before you renew. Let First Mark review. Go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
What are you waiting for? Your savings could start tomorrow.
Firstmarkinsurance.com.
This hour of Wyman and Bob is brought to you by K2 Vision RLE.
Why, man? Why?
Lunch has been canceled today due to lack of hustle. Deal with it.
He's a habitual line stepper.
What were you thinking? What are you doing?
Why are you the way that you are?
It's the Why Man of the Week.
WHYMAN is presented by Mazda of Everett, and we begin with a story coming out of Arizona. Former Mariner Ketel Marte didn't show up for Arizona's game against the Red Sox on Monday night, and their manager, Torey Lovullo, on Monday talking about his quote is, "All I know is that he's dealing with a personal issue. He didn't show up today, and he was put on the restricted list. That's as much as I know right now." I'm guessing he knew a lot more, but that's all he was saying. But John Gambadoro of Arizona Sports was talking about this, and he was none too pleased with Marte.
And it's all coming to light now. And again, all those people that were in Ketel's corner and all those people that were, oh, you're just trying to run the best player out of town. No, we weren't. None of us were trying to run him out of town. We were just painting a picture for you of what's happened. He's a very talented player. But he's one of the most difficult players to manage in all of sports. He's very, very difficult to manage. He's very difficult to handle. He doesn't. He goes by his own accord, right? He's not the best teammate and team player. He's very much a selfish individual player. I had somebody tell me he's the most self-absorbed player, that there is. It's just, and this is what happens. I mean, he should have been at the ballpark yesterday. There's no debating this.
Now, I don't know what's going on with him behind the scenes, and maybe there's something serious with family or what have you. I will say what he said there at Gambadoro, I've heard before. In fact, I heard when he was here and Robinson Cano was here, there was a little issue that he was trying to mimic the casual nature of Cano, and Cano's, the way Cano just seems to sort of glide into everything, like it looks effortless, yet he's making the effort, but Ketel was taking it to me, and I don't need to try as hard because I can do that it became a little bit of an issue. But I don't know. You tell me, Ryan, what you think of what's going on.
I've asked people who've played with Ketel Marte before, and it's kind of contrary to what he was saying in regards to being difficult. A lot of people have a lot of respect for him. Torey Lovullo, I watched him speak about him. He was very emotional about his guy, and usually, what they don't say, the things you read between the lines, the way the reaction is. Right. If they come out and say, "Oh, well, that's something," no comment, boom, and brush it off, well, then all of a sudden there's obviously creating some friction. The way Torey Lovullo addressed it, he was pretty emotional about it. So that tells me that there's something else going on. Now they did meet with him. They are putting him on the IL for a knee. He had an injection in his knee. Now, that has nothing to do with him skipping out on the games in Boston. But I think they're kind of using that in the place to say, all right, we're going to put him on the injured list because of the knee issue, whatever. All I know is that if you have a player like this, and performance is everything, roll in. If you're dealing with something off the field or something we don't know about, people are going to judge you by how you contribute to the team. So, with that being said, I think it's really important for the front office, Torey Lovello as well, to get in front of it and really get to what the issue is. And you know what? It's not for our consumption. Whatever that is, it's not for our consumption. Do your best to figure it out, and then you take the steps to put your team, because they are in the playoff hunt, put your right foot forward. There's so many things behind closed doors you don't know about, and it's very tough to pass judgment or figure out what's going on unless you really know, and you never will know.
Yeah. Dave, you obviously things have changed since your playing days, but everything is he was just talking. Everything is out there publicly for everybody to consume, right? The story always comes out, and maybe he is dealing with something. It's on the surface, and then you hear the local sports guy talk about him in that fashion. And like I said, I've heard some of those things as well, whether they're true or not. Maybe they're just parroting what somebody like Gambadoro's saying, and maybe that's a little exaggerated.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like where there's smoke, there's fire, because, like you mentioned, he was a little bit on the difficult side. I couldn't tell when Lovello was being interviewed whether he was truly like broken up about something or he was pissed. You know, I mean, it seemed like, and he said, I care about him. But I don't know. To me, that just kind of sounded like something he was supposed to say. So I don't know. I mean, I'm just speculating, but like I said, if there's a history or that there's some things that have been going on with a player like that, it does make you wonder.
I think it's a bit of both. When you think about it, he's probably frustrated because it's like, hey, Cattell Marte, man, we have to answer to everyone now. Be upfront, be transparent. What is going on? So there's, like to Dave's point, there's a little bit of that frustration. But yes, he does care about his player. We care about you. We're open arms. Let us in. What's going on?
Yeah, all right. Story number 2 comes courtesy of the Cincinnati Bengals and their defensive back. I'm not sure. How do you say his first name, Dave? Do you know Sayer?
Sayer,
right? Apparently he left camp this week to pursue his acting career. And Zach Taylor talked about that.
I don't know how to properly define it for him. He called us last night and let us know that he had an opportunity. I know it was a difficult decision for him. I think 2 things he's really passionate about were colliding, and he decided to pursue this opportunity. So he's a great kid, comes from a great university, and we wish him the best. He was fun to be around. He really competed hard for us. It was fun watching him play. I thought he was ascending as a player. But obviously he's chosen to go a different path.
And Matt's got his whole IMDb page here. Essentially, he's acted in 2 films. 2019's American Skin, which got, I thank Matt for putting the Rotten Tomatoes score 35%. Not well received, Dave. And 2021's Space Jam: A New Legacy. 25%.
This is when he's a kid.
On Rotten Tomatoes, and he's also been...
This is pre-football career.
He's been in a few TV shows, including a 15-episode arc on Grownish and an ABC Family spinoff of the sitcom Blackish. So he's got some credits, acting credits. So he's going to pursue that. Probably hurts a lot less than football. Yeah. So I don't know what his future looked like at the pro level, Dave, but... Yeah. Maybe he didn't feel like he had a great shot at succeeding at the NFL level, so he's going to go. I'm gonna act, and I don't have to, get my body beat up while doing it.
Yeah, well, and like in my day, I mean, actors and actresses were making way more money than. Remember when Tom Cruise would sign all those deals and everything? Well, now the NFL players are the rock stars as far as like the salaries go. So, but I would say this, that like if you're not all in, for the sport of football, you might as well not be there. I mean, he obviously had something else tugging at him, and you're right. If he could be good at it, I don't know. I don't know that that's easier to succeed than in football. I never really saw him play that much, but that kind of struck me that like back in my day, it would be like, definitely go for the acting gig, no question, right? You get way more money in Hollywood than you do from the NFL, and
you don't get beat up. 2 a days with pads and 3 a day, all that stuff you were doing in Cheney, Washington. Ryan, it's funny. Matt asked a question here directed at Hyphen. Ryan, would you have left the Mariners if you were offered a role in Crocodile Dundee 2, The Wrath of the Koalas, or a 10-episode arc on the long-running Australian television soap opera Neighbours?
Neighbours, wow!
You like that one? Would you have left
I've
the
heard
Mariners?
rumors. By the way, Neighbours is a famous show back home on every day. But I have heard rumors, Matt, the fact that I don't know what the pay's not too great. It's kind of like lowbrow. Yeah, so I don't know how good the pay is. No, I would not, because I just never had that that desire to want to pursue acting. I got a question though. I mean, this guy, he was an undrafted free agent, right? So,
yeah.
Projection-wise, I mean, what were the chances he was going to have a decent career in the NFL?
That's just it. I don't know. Dave, I think, is probably more familiar with him than I am. I don't know if he's a guy that was at the back of the roster fighting just for maybe a special team spot, or if he had a legit shot at being.
Well, if I'm a front office, I'm not drafting the dude who's already got some credits. They could be out of there quick.
He may not be as into it as you want your player to be.
Right.
The fact that none of us have really heard his name that much, unless we played the Cincinnati Bengals, and he's on the depth chart. Yeah. So yeah, it's probably the best thing for him. But yeah, that's what kind of struck me though, is that like Hollywood dollars used to be like the premier, and now you see these guys making so much money. But also Matt, I think, has a little bit of a joke there. Crocodile Dundee 2, The Wrath of the Koalas.
No, they've already done Crocodile Dundee 2.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
There was.
Huge.
What was it?
Crocodile Dundee 3 he's talking about.
Was there a third?
No,
Matt
I'm
said
saying
something
I could do the
He's going to
the
take
remake.
over for Paul Hogan. He's going to be the younger version of Paul Hogan.
Paul Hogan's my father, and
So great.
I think also it's a play on, Wrath of Khan.
Yeah.
The Star Trek little joke.
That was
there.
the basis of the.
It's a very
parody.
nerdly little, inside joke there that Matt made.
By the way, there was a number 3. I messed that up. There was.
Is there a third?
It was a bit.
Really?
Yeah,
Gary
Paul
Hill's
Hogan
confirming
scraping
there was a Crocodile Dundee
Come on,
3.
Paul Hogan.
It was great, he says. All right, well, we can ask him more about that, because coming up next, Mariners broadcaster Gary Hill is going to join us to get you ready for the start of the series against the Chicago Cubs. That is coming your way next with Wyman and Bob at Seattle Sports on 710.
If you're subscribed to Seattle Sports on YouTube, then you saw this Bob Stelton digital exclusive first.
Kade Anderson from Double-A to the big leagues to start Saturday against the Cubs. And this is a guy who had nothing left to accomplish at Double-A. He has dominated. We knew they were going to make it at some point this year. They said as much. Why are they doing it now? Maybe there was some urgency in this move now because of what we're seeing with some of these guys in the rotation. But I can't wait to see him.
Subscribe to Seattle Sports on YouTube now.
Mike Rowe here with another random fact. Those cracks on your walls aren't just cosmetic. They could mean your home is sinking. Whether it's drywall cracks, exterior cracks, or sticking doors or windows, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to stabilize your foundation. Schedule a free inspection with Groundworks, the foundation and waterproofing experts.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details. Hey, Mike Salk here for Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. And not all getaways are going to earn 4 diamonds, but you can experience the 4 Diamond Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel, where the breathtaking views, elevated dining, and world-class gaming and entertainment make the perfect escape. Also, check out upcoming shows. You got 80s pop sensation Taylor Dane on September 6th, or local rock legends Queensryche on October 10th. Tickets at snocasino.com. You can elevate your next getaway. That's 4 Diamond and Seattle's closest Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Please game responsibly.
Dave Wyman here with an incredibly special guest, the mayor of the city of Lacey, Andy Ryder. Andy's a proud Seattle sports listener and recently underwent successful treatment for prostate cancer. His treatment method? Swedish cyberknife. Andy, tell us about your treatment.
The entire treatment was just 5 days, less than an hour a day. I spent more time commuting to the appointment than actually being in treatment.
Any side effects during or after?
I've had very few side effects. I've been very lucky to not have some of the side effects that I was worried about with other treatments.
What would you say to anyone considering prostate cancer treatment?
I'm feeling very confident about my treatment with CyberKnife, and I absolutely recommend it for anyone who has been diagnosed with prostate cancer.
Thank you, Andy, and congratulations. Reach out to Swedish Cyberknife directly. You don't even need a referral. Go to swedish.org/cyberknife prostate. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish Cyberknife.
At Farmers, our honesty is contagious.
Wait, am I going to catch honesty?
Well, when you're with Farmers, it's kind of inevitable.
Well, how long does it take to... I lied to you when you asked if I knew what a deductible was. I don't know my dad's birthday, and I thought umbrella policies were for rainstorms. Actual rainstorms. I have it, don't I?
You don't just have honesty.
You have Farmers. Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum.
Learn more at farmers.com. Underwritten by Farmers Truck or Fire Insurance Exchanges or affiliate. Products not available in every state.
Guys, if you have low energy or reduced drive, it could be low testosterone. At Revive Health here in Seattle, start with a free testosterone exam and consultation with an experienced medical provider. And for a limited time, qualified patients can get started with a free month of TRT. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivehealth.com.
Hi, how can I help?
Well, my husband and I feel like we've outgrown our current money manager.
I see.
Our lives have changed, and we need something more than just mutual funds to help us in retirement.
She's right.
I hear that often. At Fisher Investments, we'd start by getting to know you, your finances, family, health, lifestyle. We tailor a portfolio around your goals and needs.
Sounds good.
Can you help with estate planning?
Yes. We have a team of specialists who can help you with estate planning, Social Security, investment income, and more. We'll get to know your whole financial picture and help keep you on the path to a comfortable retirement.
And your fees?
We have a simple, transparent fee that's a percentage of the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better.
I feel better already.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com/different. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
From the people who brought you It's the Dog Park comes.
Is that a new bump on your dog's neck? Or is that bump just a part of his neck? Could be a bug bite or something way worse.
Protect your dog from injury and illness with Progressive Pet Insurance.
Wait, there's another bump right by the first bump.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Coverage subject to policy terms.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Mariners get back to it tonight here at T-Mobile Park. They welcome the Chicago Cubs to town. Game one of the three-game series coming your way tonight with Emerson Hancock on the hill for the M's. He goes up against Washington native Matthew Boyd, also former Mariner Matthew Boyd, going for the Cubs. You can catch it all starting at 6 o'clock with the pregame show, 7:10 first pitch right here, Seattle Sports on 7:10. Meanwhile, one final in the books today. Brewers take out the Braves 2-1, the final from Milwaukee. Just one game going on as we speak. They're in the top of the second in Philadelphia with the Cardinals up 2-0 on the Phillies. One roster note for your Mariners. They have reinstated Carlos Vargas from the 60-day injured list. Nick Davila has been optioned to AAA Tacoma. Matt Brash transferred to the 60-day IL.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Wyman and Bob.
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton.
We are live at T-Mobile Park. I'm joined by Ryan Roland Smith. Dave Wyman is out there in Tennessee, keeping an eye on the Seahawks. Are getting set for preseason game number 2 against the Tennessee Titans. We'll talk more about that coming up in just a bit. But right now we get a chance to speak to one of our buddies, one of our favorites, Mariners broadcaster. Gary Hill is with us. How are you, man?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing? Matt Nelson told me that I'd be on with Wyman and Bob. He did not tell me that the Megalodon would be here as well.
Yeah, he's looking at you like you got two heads right now. Can you explain the nickname? That's my new nickname, by the way.
Why is that?
No,
it's an old nickname.
Over the weekend in Milwaukee.
Go ahead, Gary. I can't believe it. I didn't know he was going to bring this up, but go ahead. Go for it.
What is it? You got to tell this.
All right. So Jeff Levering, Brewers broadcaster, right? Who Gary had a chance to interview yesterday and found it. Was that yesterday?
Yeah, it was yesterday. This out. It's been a long trip. Yeah,
so,
it was yesterday in Milwaukee.
Jeff was the play-by-play guy when I was with the Red Sox in AAA.
Okay.
And so leave spring training, go to AAA, and me, the whole team, great group of guys. We all had Hungry Shark, the game, on the phone, right? And we're all playing. You start with the Mako Shark. And you work way up. You get the reef shark, the tiger shark, the great white.
Right.
Well, we're all playing it. Well, I was the first to get the Megalodon. That's a big deal. So all of a sudden, beginning of the season, I get the nickname the Megalodon. Yeah, that's what, no one called me Ryan - none of this. It was all Megalodon. We'd go on the manager would come get the ball. He's like, all right, Megalodon, let's go. That's how it was. And so Jeff loved it. Now, Jeff, we heard about this, obviously, and he kept calling me Megalodon on the radio, this and that. Now, I had a glove company from Japan. And shout out to Hank Matsui, who I guarantee is probably not listening. But he used to keep tabs on me, man. So I had Zet, when I pitched here, and great guy. He used to make me these gloves. I come back from a road trip, and I see this white and gray glove with and it says Megalodon on the thumb.
Stitched in there.
Yeah, like an outfield glove. I get this long note saying, Ryan, hey, we want to give you this gift. Because we just found out your nickname is the Megalodon, big, powerful shark, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm thinking, so he must have heard this through the whatever, thinking it was like, the Red Sox, we love the Megalodon. He comes in and punches out. No, it's because the game on the phone. It was just a Hungry Shark game. And I'm looking, I felt bad. I'm like, do I admit to him? Anyway, Jeff told Gary the story. Gary thought it was hilarious. I was like,
it is hilarious. Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
You're right. I was looking at him with like you had two heads. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, man. Megalodon. Wow. Yeah. Let's see if it catches fire out here now that it's been exposed.
Yeah, when we see he'll start wearing shirts with Megalodon.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny.
On the top.
I do my summer camps. I've got that glove. It says and all the kids who can read in my camps, they're like, "Does that say Megalodon?" I was like, "Yeah." Does this glove look like a shark? They're like, "Yeah." What's the story behind that?
Does it look like?
I'm like, "Can I explain to them that I'm playing a silly game on the phone?" That's how I got it.
Well,
man.
Gary, let's talk about this Mariner team. Let's leave the Megalodon for a moment. And how do we summarize what we've seen? It's amazing to watch the teams in this division because the top 3 teams all have gone 4-6 in their last 10.
Yeah.
So the Mariners have been 4 games back. It feels like forever.
Yeah.
They can't gain any ground, yet they don't lose any ground. They're losing series, but they're not losing any ground in the chase.
Yeah, and for me, I guess the way I look at how this all lines up, and on the plane last night flying back, I was watching the Angels just batter the Astros. And, the Astros, they're pitching. It's been a real struggle. And so I guess the way I'm thinking about this right now is when you look at how it lays out for the Mariners in September, 7 games against the A's, 7 games against the Angels, a series against the Rockies, 2 more against the Astros. The schedule right now is very challenging. That road trip was hard. And this homestand is going to be hard because if you look at, who have the best teams in August been? Well, the Cubs and the Phillies. They have the best record this month.
And Toronto's won 7 of their last 10.
That's right. And they're in the mix too. And so the way I look at it is you have to be in touch when September hits. And I looked at this going into the...
What does in touch mean? Is that 5 or less?
Yeah,
back,
I think
4
so.
less? What's that number?
If you start to get 6, 7, I mean, that becomes, you got to rip off a huge run. But I think if you're, especially with 2 head-to-head against Houston, if you're 3 back, if you're 4 back, I think that can be done, especially when you kind of look at how the Astros schedule lines up. They're not playing great baseball. Now, the Mariners have to win. That's the thing. But, I was looking at this 6-game stretch specifically while the Mariners are playing the Brewers, the team with the best record in baseball, and the Cubs, one of the hottest teams in baseball. At the same time, the Astros had the Angels and the A's. And I was looking at it like, There's a chance the Mariners could lose 3 games on the Astros in this six-game set just because of how the schedule laid out. But the Angels did the Mariners a favor by taking 2 or 3 from Houston, so they're dead even after the first 3 of this 6 games. So, at some point they're going to have to make up ground. But I think just realistically, stay in touch with this part of the schedule.
Gary, we had a chance. We worked some games on the road. But
yes, we did.
Yeah, we had a blast, by the way.
It was fun.
That was good.
Yeah, you and the Megalodon. That's cool.
By the way, he only found out about that,
I know,
luckily, at the end, which is great. In Houston, we saw Brendan Donovan go to the top of the lineup.
Yeah.
How big of an impact in this offense from everything we've seen these first 4 or 5 months worth of the Mariners and the inconsistencies, how big of a change and a difference and energy does he give to this lineup?
It's made all the difference in the world. I think that Astros series, the Mariners had a really good offensive series. And aside from the nightmare game in Milwaukee, I thought the 2 games after that were really good offensive days as well for the Mariners. It was constant traffic. It was constant pressure, scoring runs, extra base hits, the whole thing. So I thought they put together for the first time in a while, back-to-back really good offensive series. And to me, Donovan was the spark to the whole thing. He's just been living on base. You watched him play those last 2 series, and you were like, yes, that is exactly what you were hoping for coming into the season. And because of injury, it just hasn't happened. He just hasn't played a ton of games. But you hope that he can continue this run as you move through September, because he has been a massive difference offensively for the Mariners.
Hey, Gary, I was joking around with you and Shannon about the play. You mentioned the debacle, the 22-0 game, and I thought you guys handled it as well as you possibly could. I mean, it was so shocking. But what kind of sort of level of contrition are you seeing from Julio? And do you think maybe that could be a point that, like you said, they played better? But what kind of an effect can that actually have on the team to kind of, okay, guys, we have to buckle it up?
Yeah, I think games like that are really easy to just forget about the second you leave the building. I actually think the Houston, like that Houston loss on Friday, I think that is tougher to let go, because you can look at a game like that and say, oh man, if one of 100 different things happen differently, the Mariners win. If Altuve doesn't reach out on a slider.
There,
yeah. I mean, I was looking at this. Munoz, he's thrown 250 sliders out of the zone this year, right? And he's gotten 80 swings and misses. Guys don't hit it. He had given up 3 hits this year on sliders outside the zone coming into that game, and he gave up 2 in that inning, right? And on the one to Altuve, I mean, it's Altuve, but still, you don't have success swinging at sliders out of the zone against Munoz. I thought it was horrible luck. The home run was over the plate, but until then, it was just horrible luck. And so I think those games are the ones that are tougher to walk away from than, your position player gave up 9 runs on the mound, right? It is what it is.
How come we couldn't hit their position player? He was dominating with that lollipop.
Because he was mixing it up.
He was mixing it up. He would actually mix it, roll you to sleep, and then...
Man, that's hard to hit.
Yeah. Yeah, that was not pretty. But it was great to see him bounce back and win the next day.
Yeah,
because
huge.
At the end of the day, it's one loss. You hate seeing it, obviously. No one wants to watch that play out. But they won the next day. They gave themselves a chance to get the series and have a winning road trip. They didn't do it, obviously. And that's another thing they're going to have to do down the stretch. They're going to need more consistent starts on the road.
What is your feeling about the call-up of Kade Anderson and the timing of it? Because it's coming on the heels of Bryce Miller just not looking like the guy that came out of the gates, a house of fire. I mean, he hasn't had a great start since the 2nd of July against the Angels.
Yeah, and they need him at this point.
And then same with Wu. His shoulder was a little problematic in his last start. Kirby's gotten touched up his past couple of starts. So you got 3 guys in that rotation that you're looking at going, I don't know what's going on there. This might be the time to call him up. Is you see it the motivation for it? And then I guess part B of that, part 2 is, what does that do to is it a 6-man rotation? Does somebody go to the pen? I'm sure we're going to hear from Jerry and Justin here, but what do you think?
These are all good questions. I think that Kade is starting Saturday. We know it. Sounds like Miller's going to start on Sunday.
So that's Wu's start.
Yeah, so it sounds like Wu is going to need a couple of extra days. You remember he came out of the Houston game with the shoulder, but it doesn't sound like an IL at this point, which is the greatest news of all. Because, as much as the rotation and Wu specifically, we've seen the vast difference in splits on the road. It felt like to me he'd really turned the corner in the last two starts
in a
on the
row.
road. Yeah, he was really good. Just to see him leave with the shoulders, like, no. And Houston again, too. You remember last year he was rolling against the Astros and left that start, and we didn't see him again until the postseason. So you hope it's just something minor. They give him a couple days. He comes back, and he's fine. And then that answers the question, what do you do after that? And I think part of it will be, well, what does Miller do on Sunday? What does Kade do on Saturday? I think you're getting to the point now as you reach September and you're chasing, you're 4 games back, you're going to play the hot hand. I think that's what's going to happen. And I don't know if that means 6-man or 5-man, but you need to put yourself in the best position to win ball games.
So this is not a great shot of you on the video stream,
I'll
Ryan.
sit back down. I'm sorry. It just ruined everyone's YouTube experience. You were staring the whole time I was staring. I was like, what's he looking at me for? He's looking at the camera going, dude.
I thought you were going to stretch your back or something like an old man,
Anyway, hey, the Megalodon can do that. I'm going to start referring to myself as third person.
Yeah, go third person with the
So, Gary, question for you then. Speaking of the rotation, hypothetically, let's say Brian Wu, and take performance out of this. Just talk about health. Everyone's healthy, 6 guys in this rotation, and now because you're shoving in Kade Anderson. What would be the best scenario? Because we've seen the piggyback, we've seen the 6-man, we've seen now the 5-man when Luis Castillo left, where you're having guys turn over. In your opinion, like I said, let's make everything. Brian Wu comes back. He's 100%. Bryce Miller's 100%. What's the best way to figure out this rotation with 6 guys?
I think, 100%. There's a difference to me between health and effectiveness, and I think it starts there. I think Miller needs a good start because it's been a while now. The Mariners have dropped 7 in a row. Not all that. It's not all his fault, obviously, but there's times where he just hasn't given them a chance recently, and that's what you're asking for, and especially on the road. And that's, to me, what needs to change for the rotation on the road. There's just been too many blow-ups, right? And like yesterday, the Mariners had a good offensive day, and you could see how it wasn't a good day for Kirby. He gave up 6 in the first, obviously, but you could see with the way the Mariners were swinging the bat. If that game was kept close, the Mariners had a chance to win that one. Right, and they still gave them they gave themselves a chance to win it. So to me, that's the thing that's going to have to change on the road. And to me, it's just what you see. It's a hard question to answer because we haven't seen Kade Anderson yet and what it looks like at this level. The expectations are sky high because of what he's done in the minors, but we haven't seen it yet. And he's pitching against the Cubs. That's a good offense. Yeah. What is it going to look like? I don't know, and that may help answer. Okay. What's next? What is Miller going to look like on Sunday? Is he going to look more like the guy we saw early in the season? I think these are all short-term when you're talking about, when you're chasing, right? When you're chasing a team, it's kind of what have you done for me lately? That's the reality.
Yeah. Hey, Gary, have you thought about what Kade Anderson, made a prediction in your mind of what he looks like when he comes out? Because you look at his numbers there, and it's hard to imagine him doing anything else. But we got big league pitching here, or hitters. So what have you thought about that? What's his box score look like after the game?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think it's important for all of us to maintain some realistic expectations. I know it's hard given the numbers we've seen in the minors, but hey, this is a really good offense. He's facing the first batter he's going to face at the major league level is probably going to be the NL MVP this year. He's going to face PCA right out of the gates. That's going to be the first major league hitter he sees, right? Yeah. And so it's just different. It's different at this level. The thing that is going to be so striking, I think, from a Mariners fan perspective, it's been a while since the Mariners have had a lefty in the rotation. It's a little different look. They've been so right-handed for so long. And so now, we'll see if he stays in the rotation for the rest of time from here or whether he goes back to the minors at some point or whatever. But at least starting tomorrow, the Mariners will actually have a left-handed pitcher in the rotation, which will give teams a little different look as well.
Yeah, I'm wondering what the number will be for him. If it's, hey, this many pitches or this many innings, because you look at his game log in
he hasn't
Arkansas.
been throwing a ton. Yeah,
his longest outing was 6 2/3. That was one time the whole season.
Yeah.
You look at it's 5 1/3, 5 2/3. Every once in a while 6. So they weren't letting him go deep.
Yeah, and
in
I
the
think
games.
if you get 5, that'd be amazing.
Yeah,
because he's not going to throw 100+ pitches his first time out tomorrow because he hasn't been doing that in the minors. So I think we should all temper the expectations for a little bit. He's not going to go 7 shutout innings against the Cubs and start number 1.
The Megalodon begs to differ.
And the Megalodon knows all.
It feels very George Costanza-ish. You know?
I love that nickname. That's great. The Megalodon. So good. I'm so glad Gary brought that up.
Yeah, it's the best.
Its origin makes it ridiculous. Like if it was because I was just coming out like
You were
running
just
through.
dominating.
Yeah.
Not
the case.
Because
of a video game.
Yeah, the second I was told this story, I was like, well, I'm going to have to tell everyone because this is the best.
I've tried to keep it under
It's a
wraps.
guy also that doesn't really need an extra nickname, right?
I mean, his current one's pretty great.
The
Yeah, you're
Aussie.
right.
He's
Yeah.
Hyphen.
Hyphen's a great nickname.
That didn't even exist around here. It was
Hyphen?
just straight Hungry Shark, Megalodon. That's it.
Hungry Shark. Would you rather be Megalodon or Hyphen?
Oh, it's a tough one. Now, again, if the origin was because, I was,
You were dominant?
just
Yeah.
dominant and just punching tickets. And yeah, I'd love that. But no, not if it comes from a
Video game chat.
video game. Yeah.
Children's game while you were on the bus at 2 a.m.
I don't know how we got back to that.
somewhere.
I'm uncomfortable with you talking about your own nickname, Ryan. You should be.
I
too.
like the third person
The
aspect
third person,
of
I
this.
love
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Are you feeling like Kade could go out there and go deeper than 5? Do you feel like
No, well, and the reason we bring up, and Gary, talking about the rotation, in the sense for the pitchers who are currently in the rotation, I think it'd be beneficial to have the extra day because you want to give them. I mean, I think Bryce was better with the extra day. Let's get real, physically. For Kade Anderson too, you want. I mean, I think you're going to have to. He only pitches once a week down there, and he's so short. You mentioned the fact he's going short stints. You're going to put a lot of. I mean, this is not a kid, like we said earlier. This is not a kid, hey, rewarding you, congratulations, now go up and get your feet wet. No. This isn't a pennant chase. Like, there's a lot of pressure on him, right, to come up and to fill a void, really, when you think about it. So, man, it's going to be interesting how they play it, for sure, as we get to those innings limits, too.
I thought Dave was going to jump in there.
I thought that too.
Yeah.
We're all waiting for
I
you,
was waiting
Dave.
for Dave's wisdom there. What happened?
Oh no, I have no more wisdom.
He ran out.
Yeah. Ran out of wisdom.
Gary, but that not to harp on the 22-0 game, but that's I saw people tweeting, well, that's baseball. I'm like, no, it's not. No, it's not. There's a reason all these articles are coming out. That's the first time since 1888, this, that, the other, the worst loss. But as a guy calling that game,
oh yeah,
what's your? Is there a thought in your head like, I just got to make this funny? I gotta just have fun with it. I mean, we were playing the call of you and Shannon when Julio threw the ball into the stands because you guys weren't looking at him. Which you're not.
I was not looking at him.
Did
I
you
will
go,
be fully.
Of course you weren't.
It was like 20-0 at that point.
Yeah.
The guy was tagging at third. Hey, in a like 3-2 game.
Yeah.
I definitely look when a guy is tagging and the throw comes in.
Right.
When it's 20-0. I'm not as focused on that.
Well, I just love that you go. You're talking. You go, and that's out number 2. Blah, blah, and then you go, what happened there? Do they call that? Is that a home run? And then Shannon goes, is that a triple?
We're just talking about whatever, and I look up and guys are just running the bases. It's like, I don't know. They've already scored 20. What's the difference?
Hey, look, to Gary's not defense, but in that moment too. I mean, I was doing the other broadcast on the TV, and I'm like throwing my hands up in the air, like, guys, stop taking hacks, man.
What's the approach? Like, I'm just going to have fun and.
You mean broadcasting?
It's broadcasting. Yeah. You have to call that action, and for the people that remain,
you got to be careful what you say. You really do, because you know, I'm a fan too, man. I love this team. I want this team to do well. I'm bang the table when they give up runs, like not because I'm mad at the play, because I'm a fan. Like, it's my team. And that's happened, and I'm just like, I'm mad at the Brewers for taking monster hacks, you know, and I'm just like, you're frustrated, and you just, Gary,
also,
back me up here. You got to be a professional, and you got to be careful what you say.
And for us, like, the game is over. right?
Exactly.
So there's no consequence on the game at that point. So you need to do a little more than just call balls and strikes because, you know, if people are still in with us at that point, they're fans of the Mariners. They're real fans.
Sure.
So
they're gluttons for punishment.
We ended up talking about everything. We talked about Bernie on the slide. We talked about Bob Uecker a lot. We talked about everything. I mean,
speaking of too, around like people would text me saying, "Oh, what you said about this in like the 8th or 9th inning." I'm sitting there going, "Man, you're still tuned in at that point." Like,
what are you listening
credit to you? Yeah, wow. Like, man.
Yeah. You try and make it fun given the circumstance. Like, it's not a fun circumstance, obviously, because they're getting blasted, and you know, and given the context of everything else, well, you know, the struggles and the frustrations on top of that. But you know, you can't. What are the alternatives, right?
Yeah.
You try and make it. You try and do the best you can with it.
I thought you and Shannon did it perfectly. I mean, she kind of had a laugh in the end there, and it's like, oh no, and yeah, it was like.
I think too, and Gary, back me up on this one, and Dave, I know it's way more intense because you guys are covering the game once a week, but I'm looking at the reaction in the dugout. If I'm seeing smirks, laughs, and stuff from the players, and it seems like everyone's a little more lighthearted about the fact that, you know, Lara's hitting his first career home run. You know, or whatever, then I might start cracking jokes. If I look in the dugout and everyone's mad, well, then you know what? I'm going to go with that. The basically the temperature of the
it is
players
different.
as well.
Yeah, you bring up football. It is different in that this is a game that's played every single day. And one of the things that I respect so much about guys that play this game every day is how they can put a game like that as a team or individually. Like if you're up there and you go 0 for 5 with 4 punch-outs, and the fact that you can just put that aside and come back out here the next day like nothing happened.
You got no choice.
I know, because if you don't do that, you get buried. Like this game will bury you if you don't do that. And so I just really appreciate how guys do that as individuals and a team.
Yeah.
You just can't let it get to you.
Yeah. And now you got me thinking, like, what would be the equivalent for Sam Darnold?
What would be the equivalent?
Takes the snap, turns around, and throws it into the crowd in the end zone, maybe.
Just for whatever, some inexplicable reason, fires it into the crowd.
Yeah, love it. JSN's breaking away and then throws the ball into the crowd before he crosses the goal line, maybe.
Yeah, he gets knocked around and does a 360 and runs it into the wrong end zone or something. I don't know.
What's the football equivalent to 22-0?
Oh.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yikes.
It's probably 22-0. That's probably what it is. That was a football score, man.
Yeah.
Oh, Gary, we appreciate you, man, as always. Thanks so much for the time.
Anytime. It was great to be here with you and the Megalodon.
That's right.
the Megalodon likes having Gary in the booth.
Oh, Dave, Bob's getting uncomfortable with the third-person thing here.
Dave's loving it. Dave's having fun.
Oh, goodness. All right. Will the Kade Anderson call-up be the spark that turns the season around? We're going to talk about that as we continue live from T-Mobile Park, live from Tennessee. It's Wyman and Bob with Ryan Roland Smith, Seattle Sports on 710.
He's baseball's top pitching prospect.
The Seattle Mariners select Kade Anderson.
Dominating every level in the minors.
Kade Anderson with 11 strikeouts tonight.
And now he's coming.
The Mariners are set to call up Kade Anderson from Double-A to start Saturday against the Cubs.
There's only one place to hear Kade Anderson's debut. Saturday night against the Cubs at T-Mobile on Seattle Sports. Listen free wherever you are on the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, Mariner fans, the Law Tigers are teaming up with your Seattle Mariners and Destination Harley-Davidson to give one lucky fan a custom 2026 Street Bob to celebrate 50 seasons. Now, the bike was painted by legendary VC Designs, and you can enter right now at marinersbike.com. The bike will be given away live at the game on September 22nd, so go to marinersbike.com to enter today. That's marinersbike.com to win. Now, for 25 years, the Law Tigers have helped thousands of riders with one mission only. That's to serve the motorcycle community. With Law Tigers, you never ride alone. And when the unexpected happens, you need more than a lawyer. You need somebody who understands the ride. I'm going through through it right now. Had my first accident involved in a hit and run. I called the Law Tigers, and they've got my back. They are doing all of that work behind the scenes, making sure I am covered. So if you find yourself in that position, do yourself a favor. Go with a company that's been doing it for 25 years and still going strong, riding with you. Give them a call at 1-800-LAW-TIGERS or visit lawtigers.com. The Law Tigers, Washington's Motorcycle Lawyers, Cook Law Office, PLLC, 539 Broadway, Unit 104, Tacoma, Washington, 98402.
Mike Rowe here with another fun fact. If your concrete is cracked or uneven, you can actually lift it back up. Whether it's a sinking driveway, a patio, or a sidewalk, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys. They're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to lift your concrete slabs. Schedule a free inspection with Groundworks, the foundation and waterproofing experts.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Looking for the best deal on a new home? Discover the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. With new home communities from Lacey to Stanwood, D.R. Horton has the right home for the best value. Visit drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
Get away from it all and discover a place where good times are guaranteed. But I'm letting you know at Silver Reef Casino Resort, you'll discover world-class dining at the steakhouse. Catch your favorite sports on wall-to-wall screens and sink into pure relaxation at the spa. Tee it up at Loomis Trail for championship caliber golf where there's water everywhere, so you better hit them straight. And you can hear your favorite musicians live at the event center. Visit silverreefcasino.com and book your stay today. That's silverreefcasino.com. Silver Reef Casino Resort, located off I-5, exit 260.
In 2026, Bay Alarm celebrates 80 years of security. With burglar and fire alarm systems, 24/7 in-house monitoring, and local service, our promise to the Puget Sound remains the same. We got you. Learn more at bayalarm.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
7 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Need a lift? Levitt Machinery is now your authorized JCB dealer in Washington and Oregon. From telehandlers to track and wheel loaders to excavators. JCB equipment is built to work as hard as you do. Whether you buy, rent, or lease, Levitt Machinery is here to support you. With expert service and local parts in stock, LevittMachinery.com. Talk to Levitt Machinery today. Stack it, reach it, lift it, Levitt.
Seahawks, Titans, Sunday in Nashville.
Touchdown! Seahawks!
Rabel and Wyman call it at 5. Pregame at 3 on Seattle Sports.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Logan Fury did something smart. He saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With that money, he bought a mini treadmill. Is walking on it during video conference calls more distracting than he thought? Yes. And is that because he overestimated his foot-eye coordination? Definitely. But it's Logan's savings, and if he wants to burn calories and any chance at a promotion, we say, good for you, Logan. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
This hour is serviced by the Lee Johnson Auto family.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Wyman and Bob.
Weekdays 2 to 7
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We are live at T-Mobile Park along with Ryan Roland Smith. Dave Wyman is joining us from Tennessee, where the Seahawks are getting set for preseason game number 2. Meanwhile, we've been talking a bit about this, the arrival of Kade Anderson. He makes the jump from AA to the big leagues. He's going to make his debut tomorrow against the Cubs. And Ryan, I'll start with you here, and then we'll get Dave's take on this as a guy that played at the pro level. And a young guy gets called up. Now, it's different in the NFL. They don't have a farm system where they call somebody up in the middle of the season from the minors. Mm-hmm. But could that provide a spark even for veterans to get this young guy? And there's a lot of hype around this kid, and people are excited to see him. As a veteran, do they kind of look at that like, all right, wishing the best for the kid, but is it inspiring to them, or how do they view the hype around a rookie?
If you're on that team?
If you're on that team, you're in that Mariner clubhouse, and this is the big story right now.
I think a lot's changed since I was in the clubhouse, because you'd come in and, the rules were stay in your locker, keep your mouth shut, don't sit on the couch, don't change channels. Oh, yeah. Completely different now. You walk in that clubhouse now, man, guys with a weekend, they're doing TikTok videos in the carpet in the middle of the clubhouse. What's going on here? It's so different. Completely different culturally. So speaking from that point of view, I think, though, that the difference is now we know so much more about these players, and so do the guys in the clubhouse know so much more about their character. They're around them usually in spring training enough, and because they get put on a pedestal like the Mariners and every team does, that the veteran players bring them in and understand that from a character standpoint, there's enough equity there in regards to them being a part of the fabric in a good way. Now, if you have a situation where you have a young player, and I'm sure there's plenty of them, that come in and you've been around them in spring training, and there is this level of entitlement or something where they're not pulling their weight, or there's issues with, you'll find that out because people will tell you.
Right.
And I think it's important for the veterans to, quickly, and I think there's less of this now, quickly get that in line, because it'll create issues down the track. Now, I say all that, I think this team is bringing him in with open arms. And we spoke to Gary about the rotation, where you got a Brian Wu shoulder issue, you've got a Bryce Miller performance, a little bit of performance, and there is a little decline there. The velocity's back up because he's kind of going max effort. As a matter of fact, the fastball velo is back up, but the finish and the stuff on the pitch is a little bit different. He would really benefit from an extra day. So I think
what about even Kirby?
And another one, George Kirby as well. They may not admit that, but I really think an extra day of rest, especially down the stretch run, will help. And so with all that being said, I think that they are going to bring him in, because I know that clubhouse. I just spent 3-city road trip with them. They will bring him in and say, welcome, make him feel comfortable right away. This is how we do things, and I think he'll fit right in. Now, it's not always the case, but I think with Kade, I think that there's enough of that where they know his character.
Dave, you and I have talked about how rookies were treated back when you were coming into the league versus how they're treated now. And I know it's different in football, like we said. You're not bringing in somebody from the minor leagues in the middle of a season to help, on some level help spark the team or rescue the team. You might sign a free agent who's floating around out there. But just the mentality of having a young guy who's viewed as the future, if you will, or viewed as this special player. Is that something you look at from the outside as a former professional athlete and go, you know what, that could be a spark for this clubhouse?
No, I mean, I think the realism is kind of setting in, and I think it started when Gary Hill said he's going to face Pete Crow Armstrong, his very first at bat. I just it's so different that way. And then, even like the speed of the whole thing. I've always told that story about my first preseason game against the Rams, where some dude who I had no idea who he was, and he really wasn't anybody. He probably didn't even make the team. But I was trying to block him on punt return, and he threw me, and my left butt cheek hit on the 5-yard line, and my right butt cheek hit on the 2-yard line. So, I was like, I don't even know who that guy is. And so, and it's so different. And, it's just, the speed of it and everything, but then also just the skill level. And, for a guy like, Pete Crow Armstrong or Alex Bregman or Michael Bush, I mean, it's going to be, I think I'm starting to sort of temper my expectations as far as that goes, because I don't know. What's been like, this is probably a totally random question, but like, what's been the very best outing that a pitcher coming up from the minor leagues has had as far as a performance goes?
There's been some dominant outings around baseball for sure. The problem is with him is the pitch count. That's going to be interesting, because you mentioned it early in the show. Like, it's not like he's going 100 pitches, every fifth day. He's been asked now. We heard
2/3, Bob. I think.
Yeah. That's the high water mark.
That's the high water mark. Yeah. So, and by the way, I will say this, man. I remember when I was in AAA, you'd in the bullpen. I came up as a bullpen guy. You'd pitch 2 days off pitch. It's kind of like this little mini rotation. Then all of a sudden you have to transition. You've got to be ready to go every day. I was gone back to back days. Man, you do. You get used to it pretty quick.
You acclimate to it.
Yeah, you acclimate if you're healthy and everything else. So, but again, man, he's pitching once a week. Now it's like, all right, let's go. Like Gary said, man, it's true. They have to put their foot on the gas, and there's going to be some tough decisions in a couple of weeks when they want their best 5 going every fifth day.
Yeah, well, we'll definitely be talking more about that, and all eyes will be on Kade Anderson tomorrow night in Game 2 of the series against the Cubs, and that conversation will continue. A reminder that Sunday's Mariners-Cubs game can be heard in its entirety on AM 770 and also on the Seattle Sports app. Meanwhile, the Seahawks take on the Titans in preseason game number 2, which will air right here on 710 as well as the app. So if there's any confusion, just download the Seattle Sports app. It's totally free, and you can find both broadcasts. Meanwhile, one Seahawks suffered a tough injury at today's joint practice. We'll hear what Mike McDonald said about that when we sweep the dial. Coming up next, it's Wyman and Bob with Ryan Roland Smith in at Seattle Sports on 710.
He's baseball's top pitching prospect.
The Seattle Mariners select Kade Anderson.
Dominating every level in the minors.
Kade Anderson with 11 strikeouts tonight.
And now, he's coming.
The Mariners are set to call up Kade Anderson from Double-A to start Saturday against the Cubs.
There's only one place to hear Kade Anderson's debut. Saturday night against the Cubs at T-Mobile on Seattle Sports. Listen free wherever you are on the Seattle Sports app.
Do you need glasses or contacts and you're now at the age where you also need readers? K2 Vision RLE is the permanent solution to eliminate the need for all those. Hey, it's Doctors King and Kopstein from K2 Vision. Andy, for those nearing age 50 or so, refractive lens exchange can be a great alternative to LASIK.
That's right, Joe. K2 Vision RLE is a terrific permanent solution for a lifetime of great vision. The older we get, we experience the dysfunction of our natural lens, which affects both distance vision and requires the use of reading glasses. Plus, after K2 Vision RLE, you will never develop a cataract.
And like LASIK, K2 Vision RLE is quick and painless. The question is, which procedure is right for you?
With the experience of over 150,000 procedures, the doctors at K2 Vision will know which procedure is best for you. Schedule your free Zoom consultation today at k2visionrle.com. K2 Vision RLE. No readers, glasses, contacts, or cataracts.
We'll work hard to get you the best deal we can. For Lee Johnson, it's a promise, backed by more than 90 years of earning people's trust.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Hon, is your new pinball machine in our budget?
KeyBank will meet you in that our money is now our money moment.
Actually, our banker Steve recommended we start a joint checking account for bills and keep our individual accounts for things like pinball machines.
Did someone say Banker Steve? I was in the neighborhood, in case you had any checking account questions.
Steve, you're always there for us. Now, how quickly can we open that account?
Steve, are you seeing this?
For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. KeyBank opens doors. KeyBank member FDIC.
Keep summer outside where it belongs. Save $588 on every window and $1,088 on every door, plus free heat deflecting glass. Claim your free quote today, plus 12 months no payments. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Looking for a new Mazda? Check out Mazda of Everett during the More to Move You sales event. As the West Coast's largest Mazda dealer, they have over 700 new Mazdas in stock and are known for always offering the Mazda of Everett price. Awarded Mazda's President's Award 13 years in a row and ranked among the top 20 Mazda dealers in the USA for customer service. Shop at 11409 Highway 99 in Everett or MazdaofEverett.com. Dealer awards and rankings based on Mazda USA reporting and data.
Mariners and Cubs tonight at T-Mobile. 7:10 first pitch, 6 o'clock pregame. Get every pitch of every game for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit MuckleshootCasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot. Experience the thrill of the Kitsap Fair and Stampede with heart-pounding PRCA rodeo action. Wednesday through Friday at 6:30 p.m. Saturday at 5. Watch top-tier cowboys and cowgirls compete under the lights in bareback riding, barrel racing, steer wrestling, bull riding, team roping, saddle bronc, breakaway, and tie down. And on Sunday, August 30th, finish it off with the adrenaline-pumping Extreme Bulls at noon. Kitsap Fair and Stampede runs August 26th through the 30th. Tickets and info at kitsapfair.org.
Guys, if you have low energy or reduced drive, it could be low testosterone. At Revive Health here in Seattle, start with a free testosterone exam and consultation with an experienced medical provider. And for a limited time, qualified patients can get started with a free month of TRT. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivehealth.com.
Are you looking for the best deal on a new home? Discover the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. With new home communities from Lacey to Stanwood, ranging from the low 500s to the high 1 millions, D.R. Horton has the right home at the best value for you. Your new home is within reach, so what are you waiting for? Learn more about the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. Visit drhorton.com and schedule a tour today. D.R. Horton, America's builder. An equal housing opportunity builder.
This hour is serviced by the Lee Johnson Auto family.
Scanning the airwaves for the most interesting and entertaining stories of the day. Sweeping the dial. Every afternoon at 4:45 with Wyman and Bob.
Presented by Silver Reef Casino Resort.
Here's Mike McDonald giving the injury update for Jake Bobo.
Our heart goes out to Jake Bobo. He's seems like it's going to be a serious knee. We're going to get an image, but early returns. Just looks like it's a long-term injury, so that's unfortunate.
Dave, did you see what Matt wrote on the show sheet about that?
A boo-boo for Bobo?
That's cold, man.
That's
cold. Where's the feeling? Where's the warmth, Matt? I mean, come on.
He has a fun name, and I think he should take solace in that.
Yeah, it's I don't know, Dave. You tell me. I mean, obviously, hearing these guys talk about, he's a guy who's well liked on that team and in that locker room. You and I always talk about him. His numbers, he's not a guy they're counting on, in my opinion, obviously, in the passing game. I think they count on him more as a special teams guy and certainly whatever, energy he brings to the team. But how big of a loss is that? Because I looked at it and said, man, that stinks, because by all accounts, he's a great guy and they love him. But then I said, well, Montori Foster now has maybe a clearer path to making this roster.
Yeah, well, and also we talked about, I don't know why I would worry about this, but I kind of worry about how the ball's going to be distributed, who's it going to throw to. And, and I kind of thought in the back of my mind when we were answering that question last week that maybe there'll be an injury. It's kind of like what we talked about with our rotation, the 6-man rotation. Like maybe there'll be an injury and it'll be, cut and clear, but it's too bad but it happens, right? So, here's how I heard, I think it was Sam Darnold described Jake Bobo as the offense's Witherspoon. That, he has that kind of energy and pumps everybody up, and that's why he's so beloved, and, everybody, and the Seahawks know that. Like they went on a big thing tonight. They're doing some kind of a social thing. I just saw the entire team, the whole staff, they're all loading on the buses and going somewhere to do some kind of a dinner and team bonding thing. And yeah,
they didn't invite you?
Well, no, I had to work. So,
okay.
Yeah, that was your guys' fault. No.
Sorry, man.
No, I don't think so. I think it's just the team. And yeah, I mean it's a huge bummer losing a guy like that just because of what he brings to the locker room and everything. And and he's a good special team guy and a good glue guy. I mean they went, they spent a good amount of money on him, right? Yeah, to get him back here. So
yeah, a little over $5 million, I think.
Yeah. So for a guy that had 2 or 3, 4 targets or something, throughout the year, and played a lot of good special teams. Like on the Shaheed touchdown, I remember the one in Atlanta, he had a really good block on the kickoff return. So yeah, I mean he's valuable in other ways that a lot of people can't see.
Sweeping the dial.
Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow made his hopes for the season pretty clear.
I'm trying to put it out into the world. I'm trying to manifest it. I'm trying to show our guys the urgency that I have and that I want us to have as an organization to go and make it happen. You can keep pushing it down the road, or you can talk about it now and say this is the year. And I'm tired of saying next year. This is it. Your life is too short to keep pushing things down the road, and I'm trying to instill some urgency and some intensity in everybody to go and be great every day and try to go make it happen.
I like that, Dave. I like the fact that he's playing for an organization that has been kind of, bottom feeders for a bit. They've had moments. They've had, certainly when Carson Palmer was there, they had some moments, but by and large, that's just one of those teams like the Browns that just can't seem to quite get it right on a consistent basis. And I just like a guy that's going to go out there as the leader, as the guy who's, playing the most important position out there to say, we can't keep kicking the can down the road. It's got to happen now. There's got to be some urgency.
Yeah, I wonder if time's running out for him. I mean, another, what do you have, turf toe surgery last year? Which, by the way, is really painful. Turf toe.
Yeah, it sounds like such a minor thing. Like, oh, your toe hurts?
I got it in a playoff game, actually in Cincinnati, ironically. But, yeah, I don't think I could have played the next week. We lost in the playoffs. But, yeah, it's been kind of tough for him. But, I mean, he took his team to the Super Bowl a few years ago, right? Was that 22? Yeah, and they end up losing to the Rams. But, yeah, I don't know. He's one of those guys that you can kind of see the bitterness starting to settle in. Like for a while there, everybody liked him. He was Joe Cool and like the next Joe Namath and all that. And then all of a sudden, things have gone south for the Bengals.
Sweeping the dial.
On Foul Territory, Joe Madden had an idea about the causes of Cal's struggles.
He caught like 120-some games, but he also DH'd primarily on those other days. So there really was very little downtime. And that's such, as a real exhausting position. People have no idea unless you catch. Physically and mentally, that's about as difficult as it gets. And in today's game where there's so much information, that's the catcher becomes a conduit between whomever front office dugout to the pitching staff and whatever starters, relievers, everyone. It's taxing. I just think last year may have just beat him up a little bit more than he knew, and the fact that they played so late into the year, recovery was different, and then he goes right into the WBC at the beginning of the season. There's a lot going on there, and there's a lot going on in that position.
All that makes sense to me, Ryan, but I feel like we're all searching for the excuse. Here's why it happened, and it's because of this. To me, it's all encompassing. It's the slow start. It's the WBC. Everything. All the games he played last year. He got off to a poor start. Then the injury happened. Tried to fight through it. Ultimately gave into it. Comes back. And it just hasn't been, and the mental part of it to me is probably the biggest part of it right now.
Yeah, you went from being a guy that's above average player to all of a sudden trying to lock up an MVP nationwide. Everyone knows who you are. You would go from a guy who, like everything that Joe said, 100% agree with him. The demands of the position, how you have to touch every facet of your roster. The other part of this is too, which people don't talk about. Cal won't admit this, but you're in a situation where you did a couple local endorsements, and then Cal is a guy, because he's a good dude, doesn't like to say no. So all of a sudden you go up the WBC, you're doing ads, you see him everywhere. He's being pulled in every other different direction. Then on top of that, like you said, slow start, injury, and you feel like he's an emotional dude. He feels like he's letting his team down. It all just layers on, man. It can be a recipe for disaster. The attention off the field, not saying no to anyone, WBC, slow start, all this. And it's a historic flip. He knows it too. He wears it every day. A lot of watching the ceiling fan do laps in your hotel room, put it that way.
Ever had a moment like that, Dave, watching your ceiling fan?
That. Yeah, I do remember having those times. That's a great, I think you were the one that first introduced that to me anyway, Ryan, that, you're just laying in your hotel room on the road trying to figure out, like, just watching the same fin go around and then trying to count them and
searching.
So Ryan, you got to take off. You got to prepare for your.
I do. I'm doing
pregame show.
I'm not in the booth tonight, but I'm doing some pre and post with Brad Adams. So I got to go prep. Or he's already texted me. Where are you? Capital letters.
Oh really?
How dare you? I said I'm doing radio. How dare you?
Does he feel like you
get your focus on the pregame show? No, I'm just kidding. But no, a few things I got to do, and then I got to head out to center field.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, right. Make sure you catch Ryan on the pregame show for the Mariners Cubs. The opener of that 3-game series coming your way tonight. We appreciate you, buddy.
It's so much fun. I appreciate it, guys. Dave, all the best. Have a good time down in with your little football game.
A little football project down here.
Megalodon hopes you have a good weekend.
Oh, jeez. This is all getting really cringy. All right.
It's getting very cringy.
Ryan's going to go do some pregame on TV with Brad Adam. Meanwhile, Dave and I are going to catch you up on everything, including his conversation with the Seahawks defensive tackle and arguably the leader on that side of the ball, Leonard Williams. That was at today's joint practice. You're going to hear that conversation coming your way next as we continue live from T-Mobile Park, live from Tennessee. It's Wyman and Bob. This is Seattle Sports on 710.
If you're subscribed to Seattle Sports on YouTube, then you saw this Bob Stelton digital exclusive first.
Kade Anderson from Double-A to the big leagues to start Saturday against the Cubs. And this is a guy who had nothing left to accomplish at Double-A. He has dominated. We knew they were going to make it at some point this year. They said as much. Why are they doing it now? Maybe there was some urgency in this move now because of what we're seeing with some of these guys in the rotation. But I can't wait to see him.
Subscribe to Seattle Sports on YouTube now.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years guaranteed? Now through August 24th, new Xfinity customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi this summer before it disappears. Just $50 a month for 5 years. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a 6th sense. Plus, it keeps you protected from online threats. And get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at Xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
When it comes to my policy, Farmers gives it to me straight, so there's no surprises.
It's your coverage. You should never be confused.
You hear that? An insurance provider with a conscience.
We're a choir, but yes, we have that too.
Straightforward coverage you can literally understand. That's what you get when
you have Farmers. Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum.
Learn more at farmers.com. Underwritten by Farmers Truck or Fire Insurance Exchanges or Affiliate. Products not available in every state.
Feeling lucky? Don't miss the Lucky Fall Classic Collector Car Truck and Boat Auction. Saturday, August 29th at Tacoma's LeMay Marymount Event Center. Up to 200 collector, vintage, and classic vehicles, many going to the highest lucky bidder with absolutely no reserve. Get lucky, get local, and get in line. Visit LuckyOldCar.com for a list and pictures of auction vehicles. Or call 206-467-6531 for bidding and consignment details.
Paddle your way to a salmon run surprise of $100,000 in cash. Win your share with hourly drawings from 6 p.m. till midnight every Saturday in August. It's a King's Cash cascade of prizes that just keeps on growing, cresting at a $15,000 finale on August 29th. Dive into all the freshwater fun with one free daily entry. Don't forget, your Reef Rewards card can save you up to 35 cents per gallon at Lummi Bay Market next to Silver Reef. Silver Reef Casino Resort, located off I-5 exit 260.
Dave Wyman here with an incredibly special guest, the mayor of the city of Lacey, Andy Ryder. Andy's a proud Seattle sports listener and recently underwent successful treatment for prostate cancer. His treatment method? Swedish CyberKnife. Andy, tell us about your treatment.
The entire treatment was just 5 days, less than an hour a day. I spent more time commuting to the appointment than actually being in treatment.
Any side effects during or after?
I've had very few side effects. I've been very lucky to not have some of the side effects that I was worried about with other treatments.
What would you say to anyone considering prostate cancer treatment?
I'm feeling very confident about my treatment with CyberKnife, and I absolutely recommend it for anyone who has been diagnosed with prostate cancer.
Thank you, Andy, and congratulations. Reach out to Swedish CyberKnife directly. You don't even need a referral. Go to swedish.org/CyberKnife prostate. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish CyberKnife.
If it's blocking your view, keeping your yard dark or shaded, or impossible to mow around, get rid of that tree or stump this summer with P&D Tree Service. They'll do it safely and quickly, cleaning up your yard in the process. P&D Tree turns multi-day jobs into a few hours, saving you time and money. One tree or land clearing, they have the tools and expertise for the job. They specialize in large tree removal. Ever seen a tree removed by crane? PndTreeService.com.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
We expect our information in real time. US Med carries continuous glucose monitors, which provide real-time readings of blood glucose levels. US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 500 private insurers. So call 888-665-0696 today for a free insurance and Medicare benefits check as easy as... That's 888-665-0696.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Mariners begin their homestand tonight with the visiting Chicago Cubs, one of the better teams in the National League. They come in, game one of the three-game series coming your way tonight with Emerson Hancock on the hill for the Mariners. The Cubs will counter with Mercer Island native Matthew Boyd, former Mariner. So we'll see how that matchup plays out. You can catch it all starting at 6 o'clock with the pregame show, 7:10 first pitch, right here, Seattle Sports on 7:10. Just one final today in baseball. Brewers double up the Braves in Milwaukee, 2-1. They get the win. Game's going on right now. Bottom of the fifth in Philadelphia. Phillies up on the Cardinals 3-2. Bottom of the third in New York. Yankees shutting out the Blue Jays right now 2-0. In Boston, it's the Giants up 1-0 over the Red Sox. That one in the bottom of the third. Also bottom of the third, no score between the Marlins and Nationals. Bottom of the third in Baltimore. The Rays are up 3-2 on the Orioles. And the Mets and White Sox just getting underway in Chicago.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Wyman and Bob.
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton.
We continue live from T-Mobile Park. Dave Wyman is out there in Tennessee where the Seahawks and Titans get together for preseason game number 2 coming up this weekend. Joint practice happening today. We'll talk more about that in a moment. A reminder, or not even really a reminder, I didn't even mention it today. We have Mean Text. It's Friday, which means we have Mean Text coming up at 5:45 today. So, Dave, I've been derelict in my duties. I have not mentioned it once today, and I hope the listeners had my back and just sent them in anyway. I haven't checked. Matt's going to check, but I don't hold out a lot of faith in that.
Yeah, I don't either. You think the texters are going to have your back? No chance.
I thought
Stab
they
you
would.
in
I
the
thought
back maybe.
I thought they would just say, "Yeah, Bob glazed past that one." Just there's a lot going on. Dave's in Tennessee. You got Ryan Roland Smith was up here, and all of that. I forgot to mention Mean Text. So if you've been crafting one, you've been working on some of your art. There, we'll unveil it. 866-979-3776. Mean Text coming up at 5:45 today. Did you find one? You're laughing out there, Dave.
There's a good one for taking a shot at Ryan Roland Smith.
Oh, okay.
Should I reveal it? Should I read it?
Let's save it because we might not have very many
save.
since we didn't give him any notice.
Yeah, we did.
So let's save it for 5:45 in case it's light.
Yeah.
But I was just thanking Gary during the break for bringing out the Megalodon nickname, which will live on starting now. I love that. Meanwhile, before we get to your conversation, you had a chance to catch up with a guy everybody loves. We love him, and he's just such a leader on this team. Defensive tackle Leonard Williams. You had a conversation with him, but wanted to get your impressions of what you saw out there because we haven't had a chance to really dive into. Obviously, we've talked about the Bobo injury, which just stinks. But just overall, what did you see? Was it sloppy? Was it sharp? Anything give you concern? Give us your takeaway as a guy who was watching the joint practice up close and personal.
Yeah, first of all, it was just as hot as can be. I mean, and it was heat, it was humidity, there was no wind blowing or anything. I mean, it was just, and like you said at the beginning of the show, Bob, they tell you that lie when you move into places that are hot. Right,
That's
your
right.
body adjusts.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't. Yeah. So
that's a lie.
Yeah, but I mean that part of it. The other thing, I'm kind of surprised because there was a lot of talk, a lot of people saying, yeah, Robert Saleh is he was coached with Kyle Shanahan, and talking about how there's all these offensive, brilliant, geniuses out there. And then Mike's kind of, crashing the party with his defensive genius, and that Saleh's going to have these guys all fired up and there's going to be fights. And there wasn't. There really wasn't. I mean, for the most part, yeah, I saw guys kind of get up in each other's face a little bit, but there was nothing in that regard.
Which is good.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, I think you want to see your guys play hard, and if that includes a fight, that's okay. It's kind of one of those mixed feelings that you have about it. Like, we want to get stuff done here. We don't want to just have everything interrupted by fights, and nothing ugly broke out or anything like that. So that was good. But yeah, one of the things was the opening 7-on-7. The Seahawks must have completed 7 or 8 passes in a row. One of them was a really deep throw to Jadarian Price, who ran a wheel route and then up the sidelines. And it was great seeing him catch the ball because a lot of the running backs are being asked to do that. And Sam Darnold talked a little bit about that. I was taking notes when he was up at the podium and was talking about how good it is that the running backs are getting involved in the passing game. So I love seeing that because you got guys that typically are getting the ball in, the line of scrimmage in the box, and, there's 5, 6, 7 guys there. You get them out in the open space and let them put those moves on defensive backs and safeties. That's a good thing. So, that looked really good. And then they finally broke up a pass, and then they all started talking crap, and they were jumping around. I'm like, they just completed 8 in a row on you guys. But so it started out really, really well, but then, Sam threw a pick six. Jadarian Price, and I don't know if it was an exchange thing, but it was down on the goal line, and there was a fumble. And I don't know if it was the quarterback didn't, put the ball where it should be, but, that was a problem for him last year, especially fumbling inside the red zone. So, his senior year at Notre Dame. So that, was kind of a negative. And then, you saw them have their way with our defense a little bit, but it's always different when the ones are in there. But, when you have Ernest Jones and Leonard Williams and, it's not nearly as bad, but some of the second string guys looked a little bit rough. So, yeah, that was the other thing. Let me look at my notes here. Ward is really a talented quarterback. And he had an unbelievable throw down in the red zone where he just entirely, you talk about throwing across your body. Like, it was the most extreme example of that I've ever seen, and it was on a line. It was just a beautiful throw. So, Arroyo continues to impress. Arroyo had a really nice, just a seam route that he caught, and I don't think it would have been a touchdown. I think he got ran out at the 5-yard line. But he just continues. And, I was talking to Mike McDonald's parents just a little bit, and we were kind of commenting, and I was like, yeah, that guy weighs 255 pounds. And, when you see him, he's one of those guys that maybe looks like a big guy, but maybe he's, 220, 225. He's all that. So, and he told us that in our interview. So, yeah, he's looked really good, and he's had a very good camp. So, yeah, but there was a fair amount of negativity. There was a couple of interceptions, and, there were some things to not like for sure. But for the most part, it was, and the whole thing was kind of taken down by the fact that Bobo got hurt. At one point, Rashid Shaheed was laying on the ground, and I think he just got the wind knocked out of him. So because he was right back in there after that. But there was a couple of moments there where you're like, oh, no, man, Bobo's down. You saw Abe Lucas. I think it was a heat thing for him.
Yeah, that's what I had read some comments from Mike McDonald saying both of them were heat related, which was good to hear.
Both
Abe Lucas and Shaheed.
Oh, Shaheed. Yeah, well, he got hit. And it was, maybe the safety could have laid off on, but it was kind of like two guys colliding, and he was the focal point, and he went down. I think he fell flat on his back, and that's when he lost his air. And so that part of it was that was after the Bobo injury. So you're like, oh man, not another one. So, all of a sudden it started to look pretty bad out there. But yeah, it was kind of a rough day. It wasn't like they weren't dominant, like we've seen this defense be.
Well, I'm glad they're getting it out of their system now, and as Mike always talks about it, good. Now we know what we need to work on. So I like that part of it. But you had a chance to catch up with Leonard Williams, who again has been such a massive addition to this team. He's a leader on and off the field. And here's Dave's conversation with Big Cat.
All right, we got Leonard Williams. Leonard, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. Out here with the team, hostile environment. I think it was great, though. There wasn't, too many fights or anything like that going on today. I feel like both sides of the ball, both teams got a lot of good work in today.
Do you ever get used to this heat? I mean, I've always been a West Coast guy, played football on the West Coast. This is it's ridiculous. Do you get used to it when you play here?
Honestly, I don't think there is no getting used to it. Like, I played high school football in Florida, and I trained down in Florida. And even for me, it's like this is hard weather to be in. And you could definitely see it kind of wear on our team at certain points throughout practice today. Some of us look a little tired. Our legs were tired. Guys were way sweatier than we've ever been. We're out there used to practicing with the lake breeze and stuff like that. It's a lot different.
So tell us about the joint practices. I always say I think it's better than a preseason game because the preseason games kind of go their own way, whereas you get to work on things here, right? Like the coaches get together and go, because a lot of times in a preseason you don't get goal line or, short yardage situations. Do you like these joint practices?
I I really do like joint practices for exactly what you just said. It's like we're able to kind of control practice and get certain situations and looks that we want that you might not necessarily get in a game. Also, preseason, most of the starters are only, doing like one series or two series, first quarter, something like that. Whereas, during these joint practices, the starters are getting majority of the reps. And it's also just like being able to be on the road with your team and, we're the only ones out here who have each other's back. I feel like it's a really good bonding moment. It really brings the team closer together, knowing that we're in enemy territory and we're all we got.
Yeah, so what would you say as far as the intensity of the practices out there versus a game? Is it pretty close to like a preseason game or maybe even a regular?
It's almost more intense, I would say. It's almost more intense. Because in a game, you can't talk too much crap or do certain things in a game, or you might get penalties and stuff like that. Versus like here, it's like sidelines are walking up to each other's sidelines and talking crap, and you see a lot more things that happen in practice that are like free willing than you would see in a game. So I think some of the practices are definitely more chirpy and a little more intense.
Are you a smack talker out there?
It's funny because I usually try to stay calm because I'm either a 0 or 100. So if I start talking crap, then I might go over the line a little bit. So I try not to, but every once in a while it comes out of me. A lot of guys in my D-line room, like even Jay Reed, like calls me like one of the crash outs on the team because most people think I'm like this like calm Zen guy, which I've had to learn to be that way. But I really am a warrior in the garden because at times when that side comes out of me, it's not going back in.
Yeah. Once you light the fire.
Yeah. I definitely have a fire in me. If guys on the other side of the ball are doing too much or disrespecting my teammates or anything like that, I definitely am willing to. Like I'm one of those guys that's like, hey, like I'm gonna be an enforcer, and I like being in that role.
So you mentioned warrior in the garden. I'm a bit of a horticulturist myself. What was that, a philodendron? Is that what you were planting the other day? And it looked like you were planting it in like sawdust or something like that.
Yeah,
what was that?
So it was actually a Congo philodendron, which are pretty common. But the one that I had is it's called a red Congo, so it has a very specific variegation that makes it red instead of like white. It makes the roots red as well. And I've had it in like a hydroponic system for a while, which means it's like majority water. They had like some mineral rocks and stuff like that it was in for a while. So when I transitioned it to its new pot, I actually used like a drainless, like it has no drains in it. It's just like a glass vase. And I fill up like the first quarter, the bottom quarter of the vase with these clay balls called leca, and that acts as like a reservoir, and then the rest of it is actually like moss. So it's I forget what type of moss it is, but it holds moisture really well. So all I have to do when I water it is fill, like when the reservoir will start emptying, and I fill up the reservoir, and then it just like the roots like pull water from the reservoir.
Got more than I asked for right there. Yeah. I mean, our listeners are going to love that. I know, I love it, and so our listeners know that I like to do my lawn and plant flowers and stuff like that. So we'll get back to football. Hey, so tell us about the Hard Knocks thing. I don't know if you've been able to watch it, but great shot with you and your family and your new baby and all that stuff. But have you enjoyed it? What's been the experience like for you?
I think I have enjoyed it. When I was younger, I think I was against it at times. Like I was like, hey, I don't want all these cameras in our building and in our face and guys acting different and stuff like that. But now that I'm older, I realize, guys have so much personality and off the field hobbies and interests and things like that they're able to showcase through Hard Knocks. And I think they've done a good job of like showing who we are, like in the building and outside of the building. And I really appreciated them wanting to do a special on me, and got to talk about my family and my son and my all my off the field interests and stuff.
Yeah, that was awesome. Hey, has your game how has it changed over the years? Have you like come up with something every year, or is it still pretty close to what your game was in your first couple of years?
I will say it's still pretty close, but at the same time, I still try to find new things every year to work on. This year, I've been working at defensive end a lot more. So I'm less inside, which is pretty cool. I'm able to take a lot of weight off of my body by doing that, because on the inside we're playing double teams a lot. It's a lot of like downhill stuff. Versus on the edge, you know, I'm kind of like on this one track. Like I'm getting this certain tilt, certain angle where I can just like take off all the same time every time. And I think it's taking a lot of stress off of my body, which might allow me to play even longer.
Who are a couple on both sides of the ball? Maybe an offensive lineman that you see has kind of turned the corner, or a defensive lineman on the line there on each side. Who are some of the guys that have kind of surprised you this year?
On our team? I would say Riley Mills. I think he's, you know, he was one of those guys who had the passion last year. Even when he was on the sideline, on the bench and things like that, like you could tell he was really trying to absorb as much information and knowledge as possible. And now that he's able to go physically, you know, I'm able to see his skill set, and he's a strong guy, he's a quick guy, and I think he's going to be a great player.
How about on the offensive side? Is there anybody that's taken a step? Looking at that O-line, I mean, going up against you guys every day, I mean, that has to sharpen them.
I mean, I think so for sure. I think I have to give a lot of props to our O-line as a whole, actually. It's hard to point out one individual right now, but as a whole, as a collective, like the way they attack the ball, the way they communicate, the way they run off the ball on run blocks and stuff like that, it actually made my job feel so much easier coming out here and facing Tennessee today, because I'm like, wow, they don't run up the ball as hard as our offensive line. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. We have a listener in here.
DeMarcus Lawrence. Tell the people what you think, man.
Yeah, man, today was solid. You know, it was good to get out there and get after another team instead of our own. You know, putting the pass on, coming down here and feeling the little heat. I feel like it was great for all of us, you know, man. And, you know, shout out to my boy 99. He had a great day today. I was able to feed off him, you know, get some good rushes in. And, yeah, man, he had a great time.
That was D-Law, ladies and gentlemen.
Appreciate y'all,
Appreciate
man.
that, D-Law.
It was good to see you, brother.
Me too. All right, well, as far as like the off season and, you know, Mike's methodology of like how he is like phrasing everything, like run it forward instead of run it back and everything. You know, at first I didn't really understand like what chasing edges was, but, you know, I'm starting to get it. Like, you know, just the way that he talks about football, he's such a different coach than it seems like any coach that you probably ever played for, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's different, man. I mean, like you said, it takes a while for sometimes, especially people on the outside who are not around him every day, to get a grasp of what he's like and that running forward mindset and chasing edges and all those type of things. But all those small terminologies that start to eventually become ingrained within every player, every person in this building, it goes a long way. And it's like that running forward thing, it's like we're not the same team as we were last year. So like that's the reason why he's saying running forward. It's like we're not going to try to chase this old Super Bowl team that we were last year. It's like we're a whole new team. We got to start from the bottom, climb that mountain all over again. We have to run it forward. There's no room to look back on what we did last year and be like, hey, we're the Super Bowl champs, like be complacent. It's like we're the Seattle Seahawks of the 2026 season, and we have to start from the bottom all over again. You know what I mean? Nothing we did last year is going to help us get there this year.
Well, I mean, this interview, you had it all. We're talking philodendrons. We got D-Law as a guest in here. Thanks for talking to us, Leonard.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
There you go. There's Leonard Williams live from practice out there, the joint practice in Tennessee today. Dave Wyman on the scene, our intrepid reporter down there in the thick of it all, sweating to death. I like that you start the interview out with the weather, and then you got into gardening.
We talk weather and then into the gardening. So yeah, definitely
into the horticulture.
Yeah,
that's great. Yeah, I got to be honest. I'm glad I'm not there in that weather. There's nothing worse than heat and humidity. It's just gross.
No, I know it was tough. And then you put pads on and a helmet and everything.
Oh.
I mean, it just it makes it tough. But
by the way, was our guy Bob Condotta wearing a hoodie out there?
Oh man, I didn't see Bob. No, you know what? I did see him. I think he was wearing like a. I'll tell you what. He was dressed more than you should be.
Yeah.
Because he had like a heavy T-shirt on that was like a tie-dye shirt or something, but it was like heavy material, and he wasn't sweating. Yeah.
Something different about Bob. We'll be out there at Seahawks camp when it's in the mid 80s or upper 80s, and everybody's sweating to death, and he'll come strolling in front of us in a hoodie. Hat, like, it's not very warm out here. I'm a little chilly. I needed a sweatshirt. It doesn't make any sense. Makes no sense.
No,
but
it doesn't.
So what? Just a quick thought before we hit the break here on just sort of expectations or what you want to see, what's important to see for you based on what you saw today. What do you need to see in that preseason game number 2?
Yeah, I think Brock asked me the question, like, what would you like to see and what must we see? And so for me, my answer to that question was that I think I want to see the competition with Diggs here and see the competition at corner and, make sure that you get the 2 best guys out there that are going to do this defense right. And really, part of the year last year, it wasn't, Rick Woolen had his sort of blackout moments. So, I think that one is something I'd like to see. I know that they have, some guys that they've signed, like Terry and Arnold, that maybe later in the season would like to see that and see the competitiveness at corner raise up a couple of levels. The thing that I said that we must have is a running back and an effective run game, and not like late in the season. Like it needs to start out like early.
Right.
So,
hey, a reminder that Sunday's Mariners-Cubs game can be heard in its entirety on AM 770 and also on the Seattle Sports app. Meanwhile, the Seahawks will be taking on the Titans in preseason game number 2, which will air right here on 710 as well as the app. So any confusion on your end out there, just simply download the Seattle Sports app. It's completely free. You can find both broadcasts right there. How about this tease here, Dave? Check out Matt's work. In this next segment, we're going to talk about why the NFL should do away with preseason games, even though we'll be broadcasting one in exactly 48 hours. Should we be talking about that? Could this segment disincentivize people tuning in on Sunday? I don't know, man. It's Matt's last day producing, and he's pretty checked out at this point. It's Wyman and Bob. This is Seattle Sports on 710.
He's baseball's top pitching prospect.
The Seattle Mariners select Kade Anderson.
Dominating every level in the minors.
Kade Anderson with 11 strikeouts tonight.
And now he's coming.
The Mariners are set to call up Kade Anderson from Double-A to start Saturday against the Cubs.
There's only one place to hear Kade Anderson's debut. Saturday night against the Cubs at T-Mobile on Seattle Sports. Listen free wherever you are on the Seattle Sports app.
This hour is brought to you by Fast Home Services. Dave Wyman here with an incredibly special guest, the mayor of the city of Lacey, Andy Ryder. Andy's a proud Seattle Sports listener and recently underwent successful treatment for prostate cancer. His treatment method? Swedish CyberKnife. Andy, tell us about your treatment.
The entire treatment was just 5 days, less than an hour a day. I spent more time commuting to the appointment than actually being in treatment.
Any side effects during or after?
I've had very few side effects. I've been very lucky to not have some of the side effects that I was worried about with other treatments.
What would you say to anyone considering prostate cancer treatment?
I'm feeling very confident about my treatment with CyberKnife, and I absolutely recommend it for anyone who has been diagnosed with prostate cancer.
Thank you, Andy, and congratulations. Reach out to Swedish CyberKnife directly. You don't even need a referral. Go to swedish.org/CyberKnife prostate. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish CyberKnife.
Paid political announcement.
If you care about keeping groceries affordable, listen up. Seattle City Hall is considering an ordinance that could put grocery discounts, rewards, and coupons at risk. The mayor's proposed fair pricing ordinance could have the exact opposite outcome and make everyday living more expensive. Protect Seattle Savings is working with the mayor's office to improve the proposal and keep costs down, but we could use your help. Visit ProtectSeattleSavings.com to learn more and join the cause.
Paid for by Protect Seattle Savings. Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit MuckleshootCasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot. When your equipment is down, every minute counts. Levitt Machinery has the parts, technicians, and expertise to get you back up and running fast. Because if it's forked, we fix it. LevittMachinery.com. Need a lift? Stack it, reach it, lift it, Levitt.
Keep summer outside where it belongs. Save $588 on every window and $1,088 on every door, plus free heat deflecting glass. Claim your free quote today, plus 12 months no payments. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-822-1490. That's 800-822-1490. 800-822-1490.
Seahawks, Titans, Sunday in Nashville.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Rabel and Wyman call it at 5. Pregame at 3 on Seattle Sports.
Jane is a small business owner. Tell them what that's like, Jane.
Yeah, well, it's like a roller coaster with a lot of ups and downs, and some days things can feel like they're flying off the rails.
Yep, it's a lot. But the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business can help you manage it all. With the largest, fastest fiber-powered network designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect.
Nice. So everything stays on track.
The Total Solutions Advantage. No one does business like Comcast Business.
The more solutions you add, the more you save. Get started today with a qualifying internet package for as low as $60 a month when you add an advanced solution. Plus, new customers, ask how to get up to $1,500 in prepaid cards when you add 2 lines of mobile to a qualifying gig bundle. Don't wait. Call today. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and automatic payments with bank account required. $60 offer requires 300 meg internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Prepaid card offers end 9/13/2026.
Hi, how can I help? Well, my husband and I feel like we've outgrown our current money manager. I see. Our lives have changed, and we need something more than just mutual funds to help us in retirement.
She's right.
I hear that often. At Fisher Investments, we'd start by getting to know you, your finances, family, health, lifestyle. We tailor a portfolio around your goals and needs.
Sounds good.
Can you help with estate planning? Yes. We have a team of specialists who can help you with estate planning, Social Security, investment income, and more. We'll get to know your whole financial picture and help keep you on the path to a comfortable retirement.
And your fees?
We have a simple, transparent fee that's a percentage of the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better. I feel better already. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com/different. Investing in securities involves a risk of loss.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Wyman and Bob.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We got mean text coming up in about 15 minutes, so you still have some time to get creative. Get your mean text in at 866-979-3776. And we'll see what they get done on short notice today, Dave. Meanwhile, this was a funny text. It says, this is from the 949. We were talking about Bob Condotta and his hoodie and all that, even when it's just blazing hot. This person said, Bob Condotta was heavily featured in the Seahawks Press Pass live stream today. He just steps into frame for no reason. I love that.
It kind of reminded me of that time when Rabel was on the set. Remember?
Yeah.
And you were at the ballpark, and he kept getting in front of the camera and just kind of wandering around.
Just aimlessly, like, there's a camera right. There's like Ryan today, just decided to stand up, and we got a nice shot of his midsection for a couple of minutes there. He's just standing there for no reason.
Well, I was telling Matt during the break also that there was a very, God bless his soul, janitor that came in here, and he was just asking me questions the entire time. Like, do you want this bottle? What about this? Should I throw this away? And I just did my best to just block him out. So
was this while you were on the air?
Yeah.
Oh,
during
boy.
the last segment.
Okay. Jeez. It's funny, the headphones aren't a cue for a lot of people. We still get, if we're doing a show at Edgar's or over at the Hatback, every once in a while we still get people coming up to us going, where's the bathroom? Where they're trying to wave you down, like, look over here. I've got a question. Look over here. But headphones are usually
I was
good
talking. I mean, he could see that happening with the headphones on. I'm in the mid-sentence, and he wasn't aware. So.
Well, yesterday we had your former teammate and longtime good friend Paul Moyer in, and we were talking about preseason. I was curious to get your opinion on this, Dave, because Paul brought up the idea of having no preseason games, none, and he was saying, do away with them all, have 2 bye weeks and an 18-game schedule. And on the surface, I could see every player in the league going, "Yep, I'll do that in a second." And every coach in the league going, "Wait a minute, I gotta have the ability to evaluate these guys beyond just practice." And maybe the answer is more joint practices. I don't know, but could you ever see that becoming a reality where they say, and owners on top of it, because they do they had a huge crowd for preseason game number 1 over at Lumen, so there's money to be made in the preseason for a lot of teams, including the Seahawks, certainly with the rabid fan base they have. But I don't know. Is that something you could ever see being a reality? Just, all right, that's it. No more preseason games. We're going to an 18-game schedule and 2 byes during the season.
Yeah, well, you know what El Hombre would say? He would say, follow the money.
Right.
And so that, I think because of like the injury today to Bobo, and there's been injuries in preseason games. One of my best friends blew out his knee in the last preseason game, and he was a big part of our team. So, yeah, I mean, I think there's always that, but like I said in the beginning, you can't play scared. The joint practice things are a little bit more controlled, so maybe that would be the case, but I don't know, man. The logistics, first of all, you don't make any money on those, and then just the logistics of getting your entire locker room. I mean, they were in like a bubble, this huge bubble, kind of like, do you remember the one at the old Seahawk camp? That big bubble that they had?
I don't remember being there for that. That might have predated me.
Right. Well, it was out, and that's basically what they had. I mean, it was a 100-yard field that's covered by a bubble that's like, they've got it cooled inside and everything. And, that was the locker room for the Seahawks, and they had all their equipment in there and everything. And then they had to bring in all these extra, porta potties and all that. And it was just a huge, as far as the logistics go, it was a huge deal. So I don't know. That just seems like it's really hard to do. But I don't know, man. Maybe because a lot of teams, like I think Sean McVay was the first one that was like, I'm not playing any of my starters during the preseason at all, ever.
Right.
And I think there's a lot of teams that are heading that way. But I don't know. I don't think you can play scared. So you've got to have that contact. So I would say probably not in the foreseeable future.
What about just from a coach's perspective and their ability to evaluate the talent, to who's making the team, who's not? Because Paul's answer to that question was, they already know really who's making the team. You might get a couple guys who earn their spots in training camp, but for the most part, they know who's going to be on the roster. Do you buy into that it's really just a couple guys here or there that are filling out the back end, or you're scouting for your practice squad, or do you think that's not giving enough credit to how many guys actually do make it out of training camp?
Yeah, well, Paul, I mean, I think he spent, between 3 and 5 years somewhere in there as a coach, and I think that probably a lot of coaches have that in mind. Like, they know which guys can play and which can't, regardless of the pads. But I do think that, the offensive line and defensive line is totally different. You have to put the pads on. And I think that there can be some surprises there. But, I mean, I think that's a good argument on his part, having been a coach in the league for a really long time.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, look, as a fan, I would be fine with 0 preseason games. Absolutely fine. Give me another regular season game and another bye in there. I'm on board. And I can't imagine any players being against that, right? I mean, players are, they're talking about expanding the season. They want something in exchange, and that should be, all right, we're going to eliminate the preseason, which, again, a lot of starters aren't even playing in at this point. But, yeah, I started thinking about, I could see the owners barking about it because, again, you see the crowd that the Seahawks just drew for that game at Lumen. Mm-hmm. They're still making money, and they're still charging season ticket holders money to go to preseason games. They have to buy those tickets. Right. So they're still generating revenue, even though it's not, like this year you get one home game. Convincing them to forego that, maybe in lieu of that 18th game, and that's an easier sell to the owners and the players. I don't think you have to convince, and the coaches would be the last ones standing, I guess, if you will, that may be in opposition to it.
Yeah, that'd be a great question also to ask the players. Maybe we should ask that this year to the players that we had, what they prefer in that regard. But again, I mean, I think the money side of it is what's going to control that decision.
Yeah. Would you, as a player, have preferred that? Like, all right, no more preseason games.
No, I like preseason games.
You did?
I really did. Yeah, and I thought, there was lots of guys that made the team in preseason. Like Rufus Porter. I mean, there's no way he makes the team if he doesn't fly down on kickoffs and make a bunch of plays, tackles inside the 5-yard line on a kickoff return. So, I think that there's a lot of it that the players really like, the guys on the lower end. But, of course, the veterans and the established guys would, less opportunities to get injuries is always desirable.
Hey, one last one before we break here, and I don't know how much you were able to hear about this or ask about it, but Mike McDonald was asked about Torrey Horton once again, and it's a really vague answer. He's being very, very vague in terms of what the injury is, but he makes it sound like it could be a little while before we see him. Do you have, which is a huge bummer. We've talked a million times, you and I, about how impactful he was in such a short amount of time with a limited number of targets out there, and then had that shin injury that they were very, guarded with. We didn't really know exactly what happened until this offseason. But are you hearing anything about him? Do you get the sense that this is going to be another season that we're going to be talking about what if with him?
Yeah, I just no is the answer to, am I hearing much about him? Because, it just seems like they've almost like done like the hockey route of, it's a lower body injury. He did have to have a rod put in his shin. So, I mean, that's a bigger deal than I thought, and I don't know that we heard that last year. And we
just heard shin injury, and we're all going, well, what do you mean shin injury? Because they never said broken bone or fracture or anything like that.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, it's troubling. There's no question about it. And now all of a sudden, you get Jake Bobo down, which sounds like it's going to be the entire year. Then we were talking about who are they going to cut, and what about Montori, Foster, and, all of that. And now all of a sudden it's like, oh, yeah, all of a sudden the depth is starting to wane at that position.
Yeah, that's a bummer. I was really excited to see Torrey Horton this year. And maybe it still happens. Maybe he'll be back, and we won't have to worry about it. But it's just the way they're talking about it now is a little ominous, where he's like, it's going to be a little bit. I'm like, all right, well, what the heck does that mean? Meanwhile, let's see what Matt said here. Our listeners sent in as many funny texts today as the Mariners scored runs on Tuesday. Oh, boy. You still got a few minutes at 866-979-3776. Mean text coming your way next with Wyman and Bob. It's Seattle Sports on 710.
Things are ramping up for the defending champs.
Get your mind and your body ready to hit.
So all we're doing is just attacking the next thing. It's all we're worried about.
Playing time is up for grabs.
Milroe showing that elusiveness that we want to see.
Roster spots are on the line.
That's how the guys operate. They want that challenge.
And the heat is on. Seahawks, Titans, preseason game number 2, Sunday in Nashville. Pre-game at 3, kickoff at 5. On the home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Hey, you mind keeping it down up there, please?
KeyBank will meet you in that I need new neighbors moment.
Rick, it's your mortgage loan officer, Beth. I was in the neighborhood and wanted to let you know your home loan application's been approved.
Beth, you're always there for me, and not a moment too soon.
Are your neighbors bowling with grand pianos again?
And apparently raising livestock?
Ugh. For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. KeyBank opens doors. Equal housing lender. NMLS number 399797.
No matter the time of year, working out at home is the best. Brock Hewitt here, and allow Top Fitness to create your own home gym. Simply give them your room dimensions, and they'll do a complete fitness room design. And everyone, from personal trainers to pro athletes, love their stuff. Top Fitness represents the very best brands in fitness, like Precor, Inspire Fitness, along with many others. They also have flooring and weights that go right in your home gym. Locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or simply visit topfitness.com. That's Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
30 years ago, Davis Law Group was founded to be the best law firm for our clients and our community. Our core values are to win, help, and serve. It means our success is defined by the difference we make in our clients' lives and the impact we can have in our community, not by giant settlement checks or shiny offices. Our mission to lift up the vulnerable extends beyond the courtroom to our charity partners, promoting safety, uplifting students, accident victims, foster youth, and the elderly. If you've been injured and want better results for your claim and for all of Washington, call Davis Law Group today.
11 Lee Johnson dealerships, different brands, different vehicles, one promise everywhere. We'll work hard to get you the best deal we can.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Seattle loves to celebrate big hits, touchdowns, Seahawks, and even parades. This city lives for Sunday. Get your tickets for Seahawks game days at Seahawks.com today.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Hey, Albert, can you help us plan and budget for a bathroom renovation?
I certainly can. Let me review your finances.
Who are you talking to?
Albert, my AI financial assistant that I can access right in the app. It automates all things finance, moves money, pays bills, creates personalized alerts, finds savings, and so much more.
Your bathroom renovation financial plan is ready. I found cash you can put aside, and to cover the rest, Albert can get you up to $10,000 fast.
Can you find contractors nearby within our budget?
Here's a list of contractors. Would you like help requesting a $10,000 loan for your bathroom renovation?
Yes! Download the Albert app and use promo code CLEAR to access Genius. Plus, get up to $10,000 for whatever you need. Just download the Albert app right now and use promo code CLEAR to get up to $10,000. That's promo code CLEAR.
At Farmers, our honesty is contagious.
Wait, am I going to catch honesty?
Well, when you're with Farmers, it's kind of inevitable.
Well, how long does it take to... I lied to you when you asked if I knew what a deductible was. I don't know my dad's birthday, and I thought umbrella policies were for rainstorms. Actual rainstorms. I have it, don't I?
You don't just have honesty.
You have Farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Learn more at farmers.com. Underwritten by Farmers Truck or Fire Insurance Exchanges or Affiliate. Products not available in every state.
Mariners and Cubs tonight at T-Mobile. 7:10 first pitch, 6 o'clock pregame. Get every pitch of every game for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Holy smokes, I can see. Hey, everybody, it's Rick Riz, and I just had refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision, and it's amazing. K2 Vision RLE means no more readers or glasses for me. Plus, I'll never get a cataract. Now, when I call a game, you won't see those readers dangling from the end of my nose to see the field and then my notes. I only wish I had done it sooner. It's like seeing a whole new ball game. K2 Vision RLE was quick and painless, over in just minutes, and I knew I was in great hands. The K2 Vision RLE team has done over 150,000 lens procedures. You can trust their stuff. K2 Vision RLE is my permanent solution to a lifetime of great vision. It could be yours too. Enjoy life's good years without readers, glasses, contacts, or cataracts. Get your free Zoom consult now at K2VisionRLE.com. Then you can make the same call I did. Goodbye, glasses. K2VisionRLE.com.
Guys, if your energy is down, your workouts feel harder, and your drive isn't what it used to be, it may not be aging. It could be low testosterone. At Revive Health here in Seattle, the first step is simple: a free testosterone exam and consultation with an experienced medical provider. We'll review your labs, symptoms, and overall health to determine if testosterone therapy could help improve your energy, strength, and performance. And for a limited time, qualified patients can get started with a free month of TRT. Revive has helped over 120,000 men since 2011 improve energy, sleep, mood, and confidence. If something feels off, don't ignore it. Get answers and take control of your health. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivehealth.com. Revive Health. Elevate your vibe. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact Revive for full details.
This hour is brought to you by Fast Home Services.
Wyman and Bob.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
It is time for Mean Text. We do this every Friday. For those of you new to the program, every Friday we accumulate the mean things you say to us throughout the week, and more specifically on Fridays, as Dave likes to point out, and then unveil your work on Fridays. Now, we didn't give you a lot of notice today because we were distracted with Ryan, the Megalodon in here, Ryan Rowland-Smith, and Dave out there in Tennessee. So late start, but Matt, I'm hoping they had my back. I was putting faith in the listeners to have my back. Did they do it?
The listeners is not a good place to put faith, Bob. Bad call. I'm sorry, but
that's
not your
no.
best decision.
That's a no. They didn't bring anything to the table.
There were a couple we'll get to. One thing I want to point out, though, a bunch of people are like saying goodbye to me. When I said it was my last day producing, I'll be back on the board next week. Lefko's back. I'm just producing this week.
They thought you were leaving the company.
A few people.
Oh, yeah. No, that was probably sent in by Brady. It's wishful thinking on his part.
Probably.
Yeah. No, you're gonna have Mike Lefko be back on Monday, and yeah, we're gonna enjoy his presence once again. So buckle up for that, everybody.
And I'm sure everyone is just thrilled.
Especially you, Matt. Especially you. You get to share the room with him once again.
A vacation for Lefko is also a vacation from Lefko.
Oh, poor Mike. He's not even here to defend himself. But then again, he does love it when the listeners will tear into Dave or me when we're gone. So there you go. Turnabout's fair play. What did you get? Did you get anything worth sharing?
A few of them. 425. The only hard knock Dave will see this year is when he runs into one of the glass doors at the VMAC.
You ever do that?
Have I ever done that?
Yeah, run into a glass slider.
I don't recall doing that. Doesn't mean it hasn't happened. It just didn't stick in my memory. Maybe I was concussed, but I didn't. Have you done that?
When I was a kid, yeah. And I was like, at the very last second, I was like, "Who's that coming towards me?"
He looks just like me. He's not stopping. He's gonna run right into me.
I think I had like a sandwich and all this, and it went all over the slider. So
I feel like a lot of your mishaps at home involve food too. You had the great spaghetti incident where you slipped on the stairs and somehow sauce ended up on your ceiling, right?
Yeah. Well, we're talking 8-foot ceilings. I have no idea how it got up there.
How'd you get it down? Did you have a mop or something that big long handle on there?
Like a step stool and get up there and wipe it down. It was one of those where when Shannon came out and saw it, she just started laughing. And I'm like, that's not the reaction I expected, but I appreciate
it. Wasn't you? Are you okay? It was just hilarity.
Just started laughing.
Can I just point something out? It was incredibly kind of Bob to ask Dave if he had run into a glass door, because my question would have been, how many glass doors have you run into?
I see.
There had to have at least been one.
I was actually the one who posed the question. Okay. Mr. Smarty Pants.
Is it only one time in your life you've done that?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was it.
I don't believe it.
Yeah.
What else did we get, Matt?
They're taking a shot at me. Dave, you water fake plants, and your yard is probably yellow and full of dog dookie.
Ooh.
And then he says, speaking of dog dookie, Mike Lefko.
That's a way to end a mean text right there. Nice,
there you go.
Nice shot on the way out.
425. I'm really enjoying this whole split broadcast thing. Maybe next show we can put Bob on Mount Everest at Dave at the bottom of the Pacific Ocean, and then just keep him there.
It'll be Matt Nelson for 4 hours. How about that?
Okay, maybe you guys do need to come back if that's the case.
Matt'll be going over TV and movie reviews with you and comics and Yeah, 4 hours of that entertainment.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone wants to hear about the new season of Star Trek Strange New Worlds, tune in. But if you want to hear about sports, I don't know how to help you, brother.
By the way, I was unaware that the new season of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia was out.
I just saw the first episode last night. I forgot to tell you about it. Oh, I'm so excited it's back.
Oh, I didn't even know. I thought there was questions as to whether it was wrapped or they were doing another season, but I guess they have. So.
And they dropped 2, so I've got another episode to watch tonight. I'm excited.
Such
I'll
a
tell
good
you,
show.
what was surprising is that people were worried that Matt was his actual last day. There was a number of people that texted in and said, Matt, you're leaving?
Dave, are you on a 2-minute delay?
What? Why?
We talked about that 2 minutes ago.
No, I said it was interesting how many people were like mourning the fact that you were not going to be there anymore.
Yeah, those were definitely not from Brady. That we know. Yeah. He wouldn't be mourning that at all. Although, actually, I think he would, because he really seems to take great joy in knowing that he annoys you, Matt. He gets great delight out of it.
There's quite a few people in this building that get that, and I'm not a fan. Not a fan of that, if I'm being honest.
Not a fan of them. Not a fan of that. I get it.
Bob, what's worse for you, germs or heat and humidity? The 253 asks.
Ooh. I feel like the heat and humidity create more germs, like just filth. Just creates filth all over your body. So I'm going to go heat and humidity. I can wash my hands in a couple of seconds and I'm good to go. Heat and humidity, you're there, you're stuck. Yeah. I'm going to lean that way.
Somebody called, the 253 called Ryan Roland Smith Megalodum instead of Megalodon. And then he said, call the fire department because Ryan just got burned.
Oh. All right. Is that all of them?
We can wrap it up with this one. 425. Oh, I get it. Today was a preseason broadcast. That's why everyone sounded so unprepared.
Nice. Nice shot on our way out the door.
For us too. Yeah.
All right. That's it for us. Want to thank our guests today, Jon Morosi, Stephen Davis, and Gary Hill, as well as Leonard Williams. I appreciate all of that. You can find it on the podcast page at seattlesports.com. We'll talk to you on Monday with Wyman and Bob.
He's baseball's top pitching prospect.
The Seattle Mariners select Kade Anderson.
Dominating every level in the minors.
Kade Anderson with 11 strikeouts tonight.
And now he's coming.
The Mariners are set to call up Kade Anderson from Double-A to start Saturday against the Cubs.
There's only one place to hear Kade Anderson's debut. Saturday night against the Cubs at T-Mobile on Seattle Sports. Listen free wherever you are on the Seattle Sports app.
In 2026, Bay Alarm celebrates 80 years of security. For the Puget Sound, that means local service including burglar and fire alarm systems, 24/7 in-house monitoring, and custom security designed to work with business operations. Bay Alarm has real people rooted in your community looking out for your business. After 8 decades and 3 generations of family ownership, our promise is still the same. We got you. Learn more at bayalarm.com.
I want a woman. I want a big girl.
See the hysterical Gabriel Fluffy Iglesias when he takes the stage at Muckleshoot Casino Resort, Saturday, August 29th at 5:30 and 9:30 p.m.
This way, we both can agree on the temperature of the thermostat.
He's sold out stadiums around the world, and now he's coming to Muckleshoot Casino Resort on August 29th. Get tickets before they're gone to laugh out loud with Gabriel Iglesias at muckleshootcasino.com.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this rush hour ad to keep you calm, which could help your driving. And science says therapy is great for a healthy mindset. So enjoy this 14-second session on us. I think you've done everything right and absolutely nothing wrong. In fact, anything that hasn't gone your way could probably be blamed on your father not being emotionally available because his father wasn't emotionally available, and so on. And now that you're calm and healing, you're probably driving better too.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Certain industries expose workers to hazardous chemicals. If you worked in a paper or pulp mill, or in aircraft manufacturing or painting at Boeing, and have a child born with birth defects, your child may be entitled to legal damages as a result of your exposure to such chemicals. Birth defects have been linked to toxic chemicals, metals, and solvents used in these industries. If your child was born with brain or spinal cord damage, organ or limb malformations, blindness, cerebral palsy, genetic damage, or other birth defects, and you're a past or present worker in a paper or pulp mill, aircraft manufacturing, or painting, contact us now toll-free at 1-866-99-TOXIC. Your children may be entitled to legal damages. If you're a past or present worker in a paper or pulp mill or aircraft manufacturing or painting at Boeing, and your child has a birth defect, call toll-free at 1-866-99-TOXIC. Your call is confidential. 1-866-99-TOXIC. Message authorized by Weinstein-Cajano.